Finished
Keep
eating.
Mm.
Okay, the stream is live-ish.
Oh, yeah?
Ish.
It always takes a little bit to kick in. Oh yeah, my Amazon crap arrives today.
What's your Amazon crap?
That's a very good question, isn't it? I'm sure I'm sure I ordered something important.
Oh, I'm excited for Paladins. Wait, where's Tyler? We need Tyler.
Oh yeah, Pink Tyler.
I forgot that Tyler's not in the group chat. Yeah. I bought nail polish remover pads, box of 50, and scrunchies, and also water bottles.
Water bottles.
Painting a Paladin mini right now. Wow, welcome back, Evan.
That's gonna be their best mini, guaranteed. Oh, you've disabled subscribe. Okay, all right.
I wish I had some like cool like loading screen music, you know?
Did no one inform Tyler, or is Tyler supposed to know this?
Oh, I guess I should probably ping Tyler, huh? Okay.
No, he knows now.
Oh.
He thought it was a 1.
Ah.
What a fool.
Thanks, Stream Elements. It only took you like 3 minutes to notice I was alive.
I wonder if they fixed the clipping of your icons yet. By the way, there's only 12 Paladins?
Oh, let's go.
Lol. You know what? There is there is a way to fix the clipping, but the process is a little bit more annoying, and I haven't really bothered to do it. But I guess I'll do it by next week.
Well, is Sean audible?
Sean is not muted.
Nice.
Oh, good catch.
Checking. Watchers, Paladin. That's a new one. Tasha's, huh? Glory.
Yeah, I know nothing about that one.
Why are there so few Paladin subclasses? This is not acceptable.
Yeah, I was looking at this. And I was like, there's less of these than I thought there were.
I mean, they so rarely come out with a new one, and it's usually pretty disappointing.
True. Was Watchers like ever good? I feel like it was really bad, actually.
It was very bad.
Okay. What do you what are you kind of expecting for the like the general power level?
My prediction? Vengeance most likely gonna be the top one, followed by stuff like Ancients and one of those evil ones. I can't remember which one it is.
Paladins are just low rent blade locks.
Lol.
That might be true.
Thank you, resident blade lock player.
Yeah. I like Paladins. I feel like Paladins are like
all right.
Paladins are like what I would gravitate towards if I didn't play fighters and warlocks. They're like a solid third place.
And warlocks who fight.
Yeah, obviously. Well, that's the nice thing about warlocks is that you can build warlocks that can fight.
And you only have a couple spells, so you're basically just a fighter.
Right. So like you would just be Eldritch blasting anyway, so you might as well do something fun with it. But I like Paladins a lot. I feel like I kind of like I like these in between classes that have like a couple of spell options, just because it's like you get all of the fun of a martial class, but you get some of the versatility of a caster and the flexibility. So you can solve problems in ways that aren't just being strong and lifting things.
I agree. And paladins, since all their spells are so bad in combat, it means you get a full list of utility spells.
Yeah, you
So you
might
have a
as
whole
well
bunch
not
of
take most
utility
of them.
spells for different situations, because why would you waste spell slots on damage when you have Divine Smite? It's actually perfect. Compare that to a sorcerer that has to use every fucking one of their spells on like a fireball or a fireball-esque thing, so then they have nothing in utility, and you're like, I'm a blaster. I do nothing but blast.
All right. Well, are we ready to start then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although,
Okay.
pull up the tier list, and if you haven't already, I like the first thing of going over is: have you guys ever played Paladins before? What's your Paladin experience?
What's your paladin experience? Do you have any job experience playing a paladin?
Put down your bona
Never
fides.
Never played a paladin.
Yeah, for
Dan's
sure.
never played a paladin. Okay. I've played one once. Twice? Wait, did I play one twice?
I'm pretty sure you played twice.
Yeah,
Twice, but one of them was a Humber one.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, that was the recent one.
Josh has played Paladin.
I've played a couple
Have they?
paladins.
You played
Wait.
Longinus.
I've played
that's right,
I've played
Longinus.
Conquest Paladin. I briefly played a Treachery Paladin. I've played a Nature Paladin.
Conquest and Treachery are like two of the evil ones, and they're both actually quite good.
So I think I've played a decent spread of paladins.
I think if I remember correctly, the Oathbreaker Paladin's pretty underwhelming, but I think it has like one feature that might be kind of low.
I feel like
hit
Oathbreaker
sleep
was
ropey.
like really bad, except for one thing that made it synergize. I think with like undead or something.
I don't remember what it was, but I think it has one sleep ropey thing. We'll find out.
Yeah, I know what it is.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Well, let's get right into it then. So Oath of the Ancients. I have actually played this paladin.
Wait, what about Sean? How many paladins have you played?
I have actually played a Paladin.
You have actually played a paladin.
I played it in Brendan's campaign, but I don't think we got beyond like level 4. So I have by far the least Paladin experience, technically, except for the fact that I've seen all of you play well, how many Paladins have you played, Dan?
Fuck.
How many paladins haven't you played, Dan?
Okay, I mean, I've definitely played more campaigns not a paladin than I've played campaigns as a paladin.
I mean, yeah. But I think in a sheer game time, I think you've spent a solid 50% of your game time playing paladins at least.
I think that's counting the ones where I multi-class into paladin and played other classes exactly like a paladin would play.
So that is to say you played a paladin.
Like, remember my my holy melee warlock?
Holy melee warlock.
God.
That literally had like divine gods and stuff, and literally just entirely paladin-esque.
Oathbreaker makes for solid alignment RP though. I mean that is true. It is like the one thing that says like here's paladin and here's the anti-paladin. Have fun playing it.
Kebab, you recognize this person?
I can't believe you've done this. I like you called me Kebab there too.
Well,
Okay. What the fuck is Ancient Paladin?
It's the nature one.
it's the good one.
Oh.
It's the one with the really good aura.
Do we care about reading the tenets? I feel like
No,
not really, right?
they're very long.
They're
and,
very long and it's all flavor, but basically, Oath of the Ancients is the nature paladin. You get some oath spells, ensnaring strike, speak with animals, moonbeam, misty step. Ooh, that's a good one. Plant growth, protection from energy, ice storm, stone skin, commune with nature, and tree stride.
Moonbeam is also quite good for a paladin because they're
For a paladin,
more-
right? Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
for other classes it sucks, but
Let's see. Your channel divinity is either Nature's Wrath or Turn the Faithless. You can use your channel divinity to invoke primeval forces to ensnare a foe. As an action, you can cause spectral vines to spring up and reach for a creature within 10 feet of you that you can see. The creature must succeed on a strength or dexterity saving throw, its choice, or be restrained. While restrained by the vines, the creature repeats the saving throw at the end of each of its turns. On a success, it frees itself and the vines vanish.
I don't think I ever used that feature.
I don't think it's very good. It's a single target snare.
It's It's okay, and it's the best thing they have option to because their second one is.
The second one is really bad. You utter ancient words that are painful for Fae and fiends to hear. As an action, you present your holy symbol, and each Fae or fiend within 30 feet of you that can hear you must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature is turned for 1 minute or until it takes damage, etc., etc. We've talked about what turning does because we looked at clerics, but turning abilities are like they're like really niche because in most cases you're really not going to be using them.
It's the challenge rating thing that hurts.
But this thing doesn't have a challenge rating.
It doesn't, yeah.
So I guess that
unlike-
that actually makes it better than Turn Undead and like whatever the Arcane Cleric one had.
So I was just noticing that.
That is actually a lot better.
No,
because
wait. Let's
it
compare
actually
this with the
turns
fear
into
spell.
Okay. It's
Like, wait, this is also a fear, right? Is this single target?
Is it a
Is this single
fear?
target?
I don't think
Fear's
it's a
AoE.
fear. It's not a fear necessarily because fear
but-
has the thing where it like can't attack or whatever. Or that has disadvantage on attacks. This is
Fear's
like
one
they just have to
forces you to use
leave,
your
right?
action.
Yeah.
This one's like a stun.
Yeah, arguably better.
But is it one target or multi?
No, it's multi. It's each fair fiend within 30 feet of you. So
Imagine that in this campaign.
I mean,
every fiend.
it could be pretty solid.
I like how we're all like, wow, this is really good, and none of us have ever seen it used. Because
I know.
despite the fact that it's really powerful, it's incredibly niche in the timing, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
you need to fight
Mhm.
a number of Fae and Fiends that you would rather turn instead of just beat the ever-living snot
Yeah.
out of.
Well,
And
I
they
mean,
have
I
to already
don't
be
think
within-
we would use it in this
Yeah,
campaign
so-
because
They would-
we
they
would
would
rather
already have
just
to be-
beat them up.
So the
They
thing
already
is
have to be
like
within 30 feet of you as well.
the
Yeah.
utility for this is like the same utility as like other crowd control spells, and it's like it's okay that paladins get it. There's no challenge rating attached to it, which is really nice. But yeah. In general, like if you have a spellcaster, like I think they can also just kind of do something like hypnotic pattern. But like honestly, it's not like that bad for a paladin to get, right?
If you ever fight Phase or Fiends.
If you ever fight
Phase are
Fair Fiends, right? It's
Fiends are
inherently
somewhat okay.
it's inherently niche, but it's actually like it's actually decently strong in its niche.
Mhm. No.
Yeah. Do all paladins get this?
No.
No.
Ah,
This is just
interesting.
ancient paladin.
And
They usually get some sort of fear as well as some sort of non-fear.
and in terms of Nature's Wrath, restrained is one of the best conditions in my opinion, but
It's
single
a single
target,
target that uses your action,
dex or strength save,
and they
is,
get to repeat the save at the end of each of its turn. There's
and
so
it's-
many limitations on this.
Yeah, I could see use maybe.
Maybe if you
within
need to
10 feet
capture
of you.
someone.
Hang on.
You're a paladin though.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like
but you'd rather just beat them.
they'll just fucking start hitting you.
Yeah, there's a
I
lot
don't
of
know.
conditions there.
This is like very niche. Like, we can't kill this guy, and we don't want to just knock him out of restrain him. I guess.
Yeah, I think in general most paladins don't really get like channel videos that are that good though.
Cough, cough, vengeance.
Vengeance. is
Yeah,
really
well.
good.
Mhm.
All right.
Vengeance one is absolutely nuts.
So Aura of Warding, 7th level, ancient magic lies so heavily upon you that it forms an eldritch ward. You and friendly creatures within 10 feet of you have resistance to damage from spells. At 18th level, the range of this aura increases to 30 feet. Obviously, that's really good.
That's
Yeah,
very
They're
good.
spellcasters.
it's
That's
like
fantastic.
literally like spell damage. Like it's not like it doesn't affect dragon breath, etc. But like when it does, it's somewhat niche that it comes up. But when it does come up, this is like you're just gonna make that spellcaster fucking cry.
Do you find that
Yeah.
most paladin subclasses build for sword and board or other?
God, I see more people gonna run around with great swords and just try to divine smite everything.
Yeah, I see. The
Yeah.
thing is that I think most paladins are actually they're actually not like tanks; they're bruisers.
I do think, however, like none of the subclasses really lock you into either sword or board or two-hander or whatever you choose.
yeah.
Like,
They
all
give
the
you a lot of
subclasses-
flexibility in how you play.
I'm pretty sure all the subclasses do not dictate your weapon like whatsoever.
No, most people just go for it because they're divine smiting anyway.
And divine smite is
big
just
sword.
as strong with a one-hander as it is with a two-hander. Just saying.
That's very true. I mean, I think if you were going to play, unless you were going to go for like heavy weapon master or something, I think you would want a shield. I think the 2 AC is better than the like the like 2
tiny bit of
damage
extra
you're gonna
damage.
get, right?
I'm definitely more of a shield person myself.
Yeah, all their damage scaling is independent of the weapon die, so
Exactly.
you can hit with whatever the fuck you want. Go whip Paladin.
The only cool, I like big sword though because it's fun.
Well, yeah,
Big sword is
I
always
seem to
fun,
recall both times I've played a paladin, I've had multiple giant ass weapons.
Yeah, I think
I'd stock up,
Tyler.
like,
I don't
3
think
or
this.
4 of
I don't
them.
think this is unique to you playing a paladin, though. I think
this is unique to you DMing a campaign. Yeah.
I think if you play a character that has access to martial weapons, I think you literally just go for the biggest one you can wield.
Although to be fair, in your
Because
campaigns, Josh, we end up with like 30 extra martial weapons sitting in our bags.
Listen, if I recall correctly, I believe there was a game where I think it was Tyler who got a giga ultra great sword.
Yeah, I remember that. We did a homebrew like classification of it of greater than heavy weapon or something.
I don't even remember which game that was. Anyway, 15th level Undying Sentinel.
Wait, have I played 3 paladins?
Have you?
Probably.
Or was that a barbarian?
Oh god. When you are reduced to 0 hit points and not killed outright, you can choose to drop to 1 hit point instead. Once you use this ability, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. Additionally, you suffer none of the drawbacks of old age, and you can't be aged magically.
This is kind of...
I like how they just tossed that last one in there.
I love the last one.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is that I feel like this is a good ability, except it's coming at 15th level, which is just
I completely agree.
Which is just like why.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little lackluster for 15th level. I love it for the flavor part though, where the
you can't age and stuff. That's pretty cool. And then 20th level, most paladins at 20th level get like a like an extra form, like a transformation.
A Super Saiyan.
Yeah. Using your action, you undergo a transformation. For 1 minute, you gain the following benefits. At the start of each of your turns, you regain 10 hit points. Whenever you cast a paladin spell that has a casting time of 1 action, you can cast it as a bonus action instead.
Nice.
That's pretty good. Enemy creatures within 10 feet have disadvantage on saving throws against your paladin spells and channel divinity options. So, you can use it once per long rest. I feel like this is actually probably one of the best aura transformations. I don't know what the other ones do off the top of my head, but I feel
There's
like
a couple that are better.
I feel like the opportunity cost of using your action is always like really painful, but the fact that you can cast a paladin spell that has casting time of 1 action as a bonus action means that you can actually cast a spell. So you're not just buffing your whole turn, you know?
I enjoy that, especially because at 20th level, you're basically running in and you're swinging your weapon twice, but you're also bonus action destructive waving everyone around you.
Yeah. So you just kind of pop all your bits.
Yeah.
Hey,
this is definitely a case where you do that, so which is quite strong.
So fun fact about this, unless I'm misreading it, there is no contingency requirement for you to maintain consciousness during this. And the reason that's relevant is that first one, at the start of your turn, you regain 10 hit points.
Wow, I didn't think of that.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, if you go down at the start of your turn, if this is
come
active,
back up,
my reading is you just immediately come back up with 10 hit points. So in theory, you don't need to be healed.
I think that's a valid. I think it's a valid reading. Yeah.
Wow.
So this is fucking insane.
This is basically the paladin that's like immortal.
This is the
I'm
thing
a
though, is like
barbarian now.
Paladins are kind of hard to. I think they're one of the most challenging classes to rank, just because their capstone ability comes at 20th level, and no one is going to hit 20th level.
I think the sad thing is, if you really want to rank a paladin, you basically have to look at their
aura
up
and
to level
their
7.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Everything up to level 7, because the next feature they get is 15. So
yeah.
paladins up to 7. This has good spells as well as a good aura and a decent thing.
I would say that the spell list is actually pretty compelling. Yeah.
Yeah, Moonbeam, Misty Step.
and Misty Step.
I love Plant
First
Growth.
level
Plant
spells
Growth
are
is
kind of
great.
whatever. Plant growth is pretty good. Tree Stride is incredible.
Wait. Is Ice Storm the one that does damage?
It is.
I think so. I think it.
So they get AoE before Destructive Wave.
That's pretty good.
AoE.
It's a little bit piddly, but like you will take anything that you can get as Paladin.
It's like 75%.
It's
like
2d8
it's like 80%
bludgeoning.
of a fireball.
Yeah, 2d8 bludgeoning
Yeah.
and 4d6 cold damage. Honestly, for a paladin, good.
It's for
This would be
paladins,
good. This would be good for a
Boy.
cleric, you know? Like
Yeah. It's all right. I'm happy. I would be happy with it.
yeah. And then your channel divinity is nichely useful, and then
Definitely below average.
Pretty nothing on this one. I guess if you're fighting like one guy and like you're like, oh no, I'm out of divine smites. I guess you can do this, but you know.
Yeah, but armor the
only
whole
procs
15
once.
ability, the 15 ability triggers once, whereas the capstone triggers once every turn for a minute.
The enemy
So
stabs you
basically-
and knocks you to 0 HP, and then you pop immediately back up, like, what the fuck? And then they have to stab you again. They pop you down to 0 HP. And then a few seconds later, you pop back up again.
Rise, Jin.
And then the DM says fuck it and double taps you and you die.
And then you die. So I'm definitely inclined to put this above average for sure. I would go as far as to say that I think we can just pretty safely put this in A tier.
Yeah,
I think so
that
too.
Yeah.
I can already predict this is probably gonna be one of the stronger ones.
I feel
Yeah.
like that's the case, right?
I feel like
We'll see,
paladins
though.
have some just absolute. Well, we'll see. Let's go.
We're starting with Conquest though, so
It's true.
Oh,
Some of the other subclasses for some of the classes are real stinkers.
yeah, Crown is not a good one.
I
yeah.
forgot about Crown. Yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be so bad. All right. Conquest Paladin. Oh boy, don't you know what this does? So your oath spells are Armor of Agathis, Command, Hold Person, Spiritual Weapon, Bestow Curse, Fear, Dominate Beast, Stone Skin, Cloud Kill,
Stone Skin.
and Dominate Person. Stone Skin.
Wow. Armor of Agathis on a Paladin is kind of great.
I was actually gonna mention that Armor of Agathis on a Paladin is actually really good.
So is Spiritual Weapon on a Paladin, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah. See
That's just
Armor
more
of
DPS.
Spiritual Weapon, absolutely nuts. Armor of Agathis is one of those spells that I feel like people kind of overlook, but it's like because the limitation of I'm pretty sure you can only cast it on yourself, but it scales insanely.
I also
Go
hold,
Wiki.
It's
Dot.
not concentration
hold
also.
person is not something Paladins normally get, and yet it's one of Paladin's favorite combo abilities because of the auto crit divine smites. On
Yeah, it's
Paralyzed.
just dirty.
Yeah, that's pretty
Like this
nasty.
spell list is nuts.
It's a really good spell list, yeah, right off the bat. Okay, Channel Divinity. Conquering Presence. You can use your Channel Divinity to exude a terrifying presence. As an action, you force each creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet of you to make a Wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, a creature becomes frightened of you for 1 minute. The frightened creature can repeat this saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. And then the other one is Guided Strike, so you can add a +10 bonus to your attack roll after you see the roll, but before the DM says whether it hits or misses. It's like I feel like Guided Strike was already one of those things where it was like on a cleric was kind of but it was saved by the fact that you one get multiple channel divinities and two you can target anybody that you can see within a range, I think. But for Paladin, it's just you, and you only ever get the one channel divinity. But at the same time, a lot of your
Unless
channel
you get a
divinities kind of
divine smite
suck
off.
anyway.
Yeah. I would rather have Guided Strike than any of the ancient ones, to be honest.
Yes.
Guided Strike is
Yeah.
one extra hit, and that on a Paladin, one extra hit is one extra divine smite.
It's true. You want to get as many divine smites in as short of an amount of time as possible. Like that's the thing about like paladins is that you're essentially grading things on whether or not you have things to do that are better or worse than divine smiting.
Lol.
You know how we talked about how in combat most of the important turns are like the first two, and a lot of combats end after that. That's extra true for paladins. Who just fucking forcibly end them if you demolish the
Paladins are really, really strong in the like tier of play that most people play in, which is that 5 to 8. And like I feel like there's like kind of there's a small dip where paladins kind of fall off for a little bit before they get abilities because there's such a long divide between 7 and 15.
15.
Yeah.
Certainly feels a little bad.
Yeah, but but at the same time, I feel like paladins get some of the more
They should get class features in that point.
yeah, I
Like
was
at
gonna say they
11th
get some of the
level,
more compelling class features later, but also
11th level,
like
improve divine smite.
so anyway,
10th level, you can't be frightened, and creatures
that's
within
pretty
10 feet
good.
of you can't be frightened.
7th level, you emanate a menacing aura while you're not incapacitated. The aura extends 10 feet from you in every direction, but not through total cover. If a creature is frightened of you, its speed is reduced to 0 while in the aura, and that creature takes psychic damage equal to half your paladin level if it starts its turn there. This aura increases to 30 feet at 17th level, or at 18th level.
Yeah. So you definitely have to put in the effort to actually frighten people, though.
Yeah,
Which,
I do like that they give you a method explicitly in your class of frightening people. They also give you the fear spell at 9th level.
Yeah. both of which
but-
are great.
But also, it's like it's one of those things where there are certain situations in which you can out of combat like intimidate someone into being frightened of you, and then they can't move anymore, and that's pretty funny.
Uh-huh. Question.
And then they start dying.
If on the fear spell, if you take damage, you get to make another save, or you're still feared.
I have to assume so, but I'll open it up right now.
I don't know. I feel like you might not get breakout from damage
Really?
but if you do break out
in
from
lore,
damage,
I don't understand why taking damage would make you less afraid.
Ow!
it's a
does not-
magical effect.
It does not break on damage.
Oh.
In order to break it, you have to not be in sight of the target that you're
Yeah.
afraid of, and then you get
Okay.
a save.
So
I mean,
so
that's
here's
pretty
the
good.
thing, though: is it worth it to use your full action to not attack twice and not divine smite twice?
So here's
have
my
to do
thought,
that.
which is that I think that there might actually be a compelling case to say so. 10 feet is obviously a little close.
Right.
It is very small. At 18th level, it is finally usable. But the thing about reducing creatures' speed to 0 is that it lets you tank. Right? It's a way of drawing aggro, which is something that the D&D in general does not have a lot of. And paladins do tend to be some of the tankier classes just because they have like an extra pool of hit points they can just choose to heal themselves with if they want to.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I would say it is decent for tanking, but only because D&D doesn't really have good tanking options to begin with. But also, like, obviously, part of it is that they have to fail to save. They have to be able to be frightened, which some creatures aren't.
And your spell save DC is going to be very low.
Yeah, it's gonna be lower than if you were a primary caster for sure.
Yeah, and the other thing is that I think most of what you get from, I guess no, you're right. This forces you to tank, but even if you're not tanking, just frightening them on its own,
it's a good condition. Yeah,
is a good condition that they have disadvantage while they can see you, which sort of makes me think you don't really need the aura.
Yeah, and who needs to tank a target that's feared? They're already disadvantaged.
Yeah, that's
You
sort
don't
of
need to tank them.
that's sort of where my head's at too. Does the damage matter at all?
Damage
Not
for
really.
what?
It's kind of
no,
piddling.
not really. It's very piddly. Like it's gonna be
Half your
3
paladin,
damage at
yeah.
7th level.
Poor man's sentinel.
Even at 20th level, that's
Kinda
10
true.
damage. It's poor man's
10
sentinel.
damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I think I would just say it's a different sentinel because sentinel you can only do on one target because your attacks of opportunity are really limited.
True.
Like you have one reaction. This is an AoE bind basically in a certain respect, which like I think there is a compelling case for sometimes, but I think it is not something that is all the time going to be very broadly useful.
Yeah. I agree with the sort of niche assessment, but I don't particularly rate this aura super highly.
All right. Well, let's take a brief look at 15 and 20. So 15, whenever a creature hits you, I like the flavor text of this. Those who dare to strike you are physically punished for their audacity.
Oh yeah.
Whenever
And
a
then
creature
it's not
hits you-
physically. It's
yeah,
psychically.
exactly. Whenever a creature hits you with an attack, that creature takes psychic damage equal to your charisma modifier if you're not incapacitated. I mean, it's just free spike damage. You're not gonna say no to that, especially
It's
because
free.
like, most creatures are gonna have like 2 attacks per turn at this level, maybe even 3 or 4. that's basically racking up like just like 10
It'll
to
add
20
up a
free
lot
chip
to a lot.
damage like every turn. Like that's pretty good. That's like
because no action required.
right, exactly. No reaction required. No action required. You can stack this with Armor of Agathis and just become
This is
like
very fun.
and just become like a spike bot. I really want to do this with Armor of
some ice
Agathis
armor.
and Fire Shield.
Yeah, fire shield. Exactly.
Just hit
Touch
me,
me,
hit
I
me,
dare you.
right? And at that point, then you have a compelling reason to fear people within 10 feet of you. Because then they have no choice but to hit you.
True.
The 20th level feature makes everything work so much nicer just from the resistance to all
Yeah,
damage.
as an action, you gain the following benefits: resistance to all damage. When you take the attack action on your turn, you can make one additional attack as part of that action, and your melee weapon attacks score a crit on a 19 or 20. It's funny because like that actually kind of makes up. That also kind of makes up for the fact that you're losing an entire action by using this. Because instead of losing 2 attacks, you're only losing 1 attack.
I guess so.
Makes sense that this is a 20th level ability because
But you would
holy
do this
crap,
at the
that's
you would do this like
powerful.
at the start. But this thing is one of the more nuts.
Yeah, this
Paladin 20.
has to be the most powerful 20th level paladin, right?
Most likely,
I
most likely
I
is.
don't know.
I guess we'll find
maybe.
out.
But
But
it is a 20th level ability, so yeah, they're probably
this
all going to
is
be pretty broken.
Resistance to all damage. This
Is
is
really
that's
good.
insane.
Yeah.
You are
Unbelievable.
probably as tanky as a barbarian, but without the
bear
resistance. Now you have
barbarian.
better resistance,
You have better resistance, and you can
More
heal
attacks.
yourself.
and you have more attacks, and you crit more, and you can divine smite on your crits.
yeah, this is just dirty. Now
Yeah.
it's 20th level,
It's 20th
but
level.
it's dirty even at
It's
20th
good, it's
level.
good.
And yet
If you
they're
get
gonna have to
there,
hit you so many
buddy.
times.
Or that
They're
one
gonna have to
fight
hit you
every
so many
campaign.
times to kill you, and it'll mean you'll get twice as many procs on your scornful rebuke.
Yeah, you become
This,
an avatar of battle. It's pretty
This
compelling.
is one of the paladins that I think you're more likely to pump charisma first because, well, you're given access to fear and spiritual
True.
weapon, and spiritual weapon scales off your charisma, right?
Yeah, it scales
Yes.
off your spellcasting
So,
mod. So
and spiritual
yeah.
weapon, I was going to come back to one again. That at early levels means this is just more DPS than almost any other paladin, just
You know,
because they have
that's
spiritual
true.
weapon.
Paladins
and-
usually tend to use their bonus actions for like smites and stuff, but spiritual weapons
Nothing.
are like way
They,
better.
they tend to use it for nothing
Yeah.
because the smites are not very good.
All the smites are terrible. You're better
Yeah.
off divine smiting. But spiritual weapon outscales it in either 1 turn or 2, depending on your charisma.
Yeah, so very good.
Insane.
I feel like this can also pretty easily go in A tier, at least for
Probably.
now.
Yeah, because it's not quite S tier because its actual low level features are kind of.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah.
It does
I
have
think.
spiritual weapon.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I
this-
honestly
it
think
does
that
have
even
spiritual
even
weapon.
just the spell list that you get is like really compelling in and of itself. I feel
Yeah.
like the only thing that's really keeping it from S tier is that none of the
Fear.
like nothing about it is it's like fear is like kind of
Really good.
fear is good, but it's also like a fear condition, and like there are creatures that are not fearable.
Fear is like a discount.
And
Fear is like a
easier action.
discount hypnotic pattern, in my opinion. It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not as good, but it's a good it's a nice CC AOE.
It's good, nice CC AOE, especially on a half caster. Like that's the good shit. All right, let's talk about one that sucks.
I just want to say I would probably be inclined to put it in B if not for the good spell list.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, probably.
I'm in the exact same boat as Sean, yeah.
Well, what do you think? What do you think's better here, Ancients or Conquest? Because I'm of mind that I think Conquest might be better.
Low levels ancients I think is better.
How so?
I honestly feel like they're kind of equal. I feel like the amount of spells you're gonna encounter at low levels in the first place is not gonna be overly high.
But like compare this at 5th level, Ancients has nothing except for Moonbeam and Misty Step. This thing has Armor of Agathis and what is it? The weapon one,
Say,
Spiritual
spiritual
weapon.
weapon.
which is in my opinion a lot better.
It probably is a better spell list. You're
And
correct.
and then once you get to 7th level, I think Ancients is a little better. But at 9th level, now the other one's got Fear.
Yeah,
and I
maybe
do-
you're right.
I don't
Maybe
know.
Conquest is a little better than ancients. That's
yeah.
fair.
But maybe they're still close enough to be in the same tier
I think they're
because
close
Yeah.
enough to be in the
Yeah,
same
I think
tier.
so.
I
And
don't
then at
think
late
one's
game,
super.
Conquest is, I think, really, really strong, but then Ancients has that immortality aspect going for it.
Yeah, Ancients also has a very good 20th level.
Yeah.
I don't think
All
it's
right.
it's Conquest good, but
I think
yeah.
most
No,
of the
but
most of
it's-
the
it's
20th level
good.
ones are like pretty. Like I think most of the auras are pretty good. Some of them are really bad though.
Yeah, there were like a couple that are shit tier. So
Okay, Oath of the Crown. You get command, compelled, dual, warding bond, zone
Wait.
of truth.
can you sum up the flavor of these? Because I actually going forward,
The
I actually
oath
don't know.
of the crown is sworn to the ideals of civilization, be it the spirit of a nation, fealty to a sovereign, or service to a deity of law and rulership.
Ah, okay.
They are cops.
The lawful
Ah.
first, good neutral evil second.
This is what Mads meant by Paladin. I see.
Yes.
Command,
Exactly.
compelled, dual, warding bond, zone of truth, aura of vitality. Hi, Vivi. Not cops. Spirit guardians. Okay. All right.
Wait, whoa. They get spirit guardians?
All right. Banishment.
Wait, S tier?
Banishment? Guardian of Faith,
S
circle
tier?
power.
We're gonna have
Wait,
to have a conversation.
do paladins
about-
get banishment by default? It might be on their default
No.
spell list. No? Okay.
Let me check. They do. They're interesting.
So,
That's
so
what I
this
thought.
one
That's
is
what I
just
thought.
it doesn't take up a preparation.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. When
Oh
you
my
take
God,
this
the
at the
Spirit
third level,
Guardians.
you gain the following 2 channel divinity options. As a bonus action, you issue a challenge that compels other creatures to do battle with you. Each creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet of you must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, a creature can't willingly move more than 30 feet away from you. The effect ends on this creature if you are incapacitated or die, or if the creature is more than 30 feet away from you.
Huh. If you just
All right.
walk away, I guess.
Yeah.
Turn the
Yeah.
tide. As a bonus action, you can bolster injured creatures with your channel divinity. Each creature of your choice that can hear you within 30 feet of you regains hit points equal to 1d6 plus your charisma modifier if it has no more than half of its hit points. I guess.
Wait. How much is that? Not very
1d6
much.
plus charisma. Like if you're assuming
This is
that
a
like somebody has like a
masculine
plus
word.
2 plus 3 charisma, 1d6 plus like 2 or 3, like 7.
I mean, this is a mass healing word basically, but only for
Once
people who are
per
very
long
injured.
rest, or is it short or long
Yeah.
rest? So you get your channel divinity. back?
And
I think it's
it
a
takes,
short rest.
but it is a bonus action.
Yeah, which is nice. That
It
makes
does.
it
I think that's
somewhat
pretty. I think
usable.
that's actually
feel.
pretty.
Yeah.
I think that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Paladins
Yeah.
do not get healing word, so they can't pop people
Yeah,
up
that's true.
with a bonus
Oh.
action. They have to use their full action to revive.
It's also ranged, which is nice.
And
So
it's
this
not
is-
it's not a spell, so you can still cast a spell if you so chose.
people. True.
Oh, that is very true. That is very true.
That's good.
That's actually pretty good. I think that's one of the more compelling channel divinities.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Champion challenge
Uh-oh.
is something.
It's not that good.
No.
30,
It's like
30 feet.
do you want the fear thing? Except now they don't have disadvantage. Then I have the channel divinity for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one's just a flavor. That one you could use for
You could do
for
some,
role play. That's about it.
it's great for roleplay. You could
It's
do some stuff. Oh,
fantastic
I will
for
say it's a bonus action actually. That's actually good.
Okay, at 7th level,
That's
when a creature
true.
within 5 feet of you takes damage, you can use your reaction to magically substitute your own health for that of the target creature. Causing the
Hey,
creature
I know
not
what
to take
that is.
damage. Instead, you take the damage. The damage to you can't be reduced or prevented in any way. Okay, I mean,
I like
yeah,
it.
that's pretty good.
Paladins can't
but-
use their reactions for very much anyway.
But you have to be within 5 feet of the target that takes damage.
That's the sucky part, because the person within 5 feet of you is most likely going to be fine taking damage anyway.
Yeah. In fact, there's a decent chance that whoever is in 5 feet of you and is taking damage is like better at taking damage than you are.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's probably your
They play
barbarian.
with the reverse. Oh god.
Yeah, I feel like
that's
if,
like
if it
you
weren't
use that when something's gone seriously wrong.
if it weren't for the range on it, I think this would be decent.
I can see this. If you have a rogue up there with you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to cite Tyler's Rose, being like, I would have used this a few times just to keep Tyler alive.
your rogue will love you for just keeping them alive.
Yeah, your barbarian will hate you, and your fighter will kind of be like, whatever, sure.
And your
we're
body
about
will
equally
be
tanky,
broken.
bro. All right. Oh, the
Okay.
15th level one looks so just.
You
so
advantage
niche.
on saving throws to avoid becoming paralyzed or stunned. Ugh.
Great.
Why?
It's not even immunity. It's just
It's
advantage
not.
on
It should just be
save.
immunity.
This is what a shit feature.
Bad.
I-
Really
okay.
bad. Really underwhelming,
Especially
especially
considering
at
how
15.
powerful other 15th levels.
Well, yeah, none of them have been stellar, but this
better
will
than that.
you'll be pretty damn happy to have this the one time every 1 or 2 campaigns that you actually have to make a save against Paralyze or Stun, unless you have like the most masochistic DM.
An advantage is only like mathematically about like a +5 to this. It's like you're still gonna get paralyzed probably if it's a big DC.
Yeah. On like there's only so much that you can realistically do, like especially because it's probably gonna target like a save that you're not gonna want. Although I guess
What did they get?
Yeah, I think it must be like charisma, like strength or something like that.
Oh no. Wisdom and charisma.
It's
Wisdom and charisma. None of the martial ones. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess yeah. I mean, you're very likely to succeed then, I guess, because you're proficient and you have the inherent paladin.
Yeah, why do you
bonus.
need this? You're already proficient.
Yeah, I don't know about this one, Chief. 20th
Paralyzed
level.
Could be con.
Use your action to
Could
gain
be,
the
right.
following benefits for 1 hour. Oh my god, it's so long.
Whoa.
Oh,
You have resistance
that
to
actually makes it
bludgeoning.
easier to pre-buff.
You have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from non-magical weapons. Your allies have advantage on death
Oof.
saves while within 30 feet of you. Why?
Mm,
You have advantage on wisdom saving throws, as do your allies within 30 feet of you. I mean, I guess
guess.
that's good, but why?
that last one's sadly the best. Look at the top one's non-magical weapons, which
I know.
at 20th level, enemies that are hitting these non-magical weapons are even the high-level enemies. Most of them still do non-magical damage.
Yeah, this is
to
kind
be
of bad,
fair.
actually.
But like, compare this to the other ones we've seen at 20th level. It's not that. It's very. I'm very.
I feel
not very whelmed.
I feel like this class. I feel like the trajectory of this class would be, you are pretty happy when you get your challenge divinity. Your 7th level feature is kind of nothing, and then 9th level when you get spirit guardians, you're like really kind of rocking.
Oh my! Like I don't. It's hard to understate how perfect of a spell Spirit Guardians is for any paladin, and how
It's so
dangerous
good.
it is to give a paladin Spirit Guardians.
All right.
Like,
So I want to hear this because the one thing I want to bring up is the fact that paladins aren't proficient in con saves.
yeah, you would have to take Resilient Con or Warcaster, and probably both. If you know you're gonna get, if you know you're gonna
Yeah.
get Spirit Guardians, you'll spec into that because Spirit Guardians will out DPS your Divine Smiting easily.
I guess, but
also-
concentration is
You do
such a hard. Well, I do love that, and I probably would, but concentration is such a just an oof thing on
No,
a
it'll be
paladin.
fine.
Yeah, but
it'll
I
be
think
fine
I think in
if you actually
general
spec into
though.
it.
Yeah, I think in general though, any class that has access to spells but is primarily like a melee ish character is going to spec into that stuff anyway. I think.
Yeah,
In fact, I think it is. It's pretty safe to say that I think all casters ever really should spec into that, like into concentrating better. So I don't think it's like out of the ordinary, right?
What's the con score of a 9th level paladin here? If you know you're going to be specking into Spirit Guardians, you're going to have at least like +4, right?
At least.
Let's say +4, and then your proficiency bonus is +4. So if you go Resilient Con, which is also that's getting con into your con score, so you're more likely to have a high score. You already have a +8, which means all those 10 DCs you have a 1 out of 20 to fail, and then you really need to be hit like very hard. You need to be hit for more than 20 damage.
Yeah.
To have more than 5%, and then the instant your proficiency goes up by 1, or you have 5 con. If you have 5 con, you're just not failing your concentration unless you're getting chunked.
I don't disagree entirely, except for the fact that at 9th level, that's when you start getting chunked. I feel, not by everything though. So you're correct about that. But like just the requirements of you have to have high con, right? And you want high strength so that you still hit. And also the save DC is based on your charisma. And also you need a feat to help maintain concentration. Like it's good, but it still hurts me. It's still a little rough.
You don't really care about charisma with Spirit Guardians that much.
Isn't it?
They still take half damage. They still take half damage on a success.
Yeah, I think you're mostly aiming for the half damage anyway. Also, hi, Turbo Tango. Thanks for the raid. Yeah, thanks.
So
for the
then
follow.
where in the world does this sit?
I feel like this is okay. So my sort of initial thought is it's a good thanks for the follow. I feel like this is a B tier class just because the Challenge Divinity is pretty compelling, but the 7th level feature is like very meh, and it takes until level 9 to get Spirit Guardians, which is just like a little bit slow. And then also like anything past 9th level is like pretty much bad. Like it's pretty garbage.
It's lucky for this class that we're weighing the early levels more because
I think if we weighed it overall, it would probably be sitting a lot closer to like C, D. But like I can put this in B, I think.
Wait, are you telling me Stone Skin at level 20 isn't good?
Listen, it's Stone Skin, but your allies get advantage on death saves. By the way, I just want to point this out. This is an aura that will end early if you're incapacitated or die. You don't even get to reap the benefits of your own bonus to death saves.
It's a selfless act.
I guess so.
I don't know what to say. Yeah, that's a bit oof.
So anyway, I don't know. What's your assessment?
Oops. Yeah.
B. I was probably gonna say B. I think. Dan, what do you think? Probably B. Okay.
All right. Cool.
I like how Spirit Guardian saves it.
Spirit Guardian really does
is the
save
9th level, and by that point you're kind of beginning to taper off. But yeah,
it's Spirit Guardians is a quite good spell. So
yeah, for a paladin, it's pretty good. Obviously, if you're a caster, you have better things to be doing at 9th level, probably, but that might not even be true. I think I was casting Spirit Guardians at 9th level.
I think you were casting it at like 15th level.
Yeah, like I was. Okay, but that's a cleric problem. Anyway, Oath of Devotion. I'll let Dan read this.
Oh yeah. What do you want me to read? I mean, this is just your standard protect the innocent. I am a beacon of truth and stuff, paladin.
I forgot I wasn't sharing my screen. Hold on. There you go.
Oh yeah. But their spells are protection from evil and good, sanctuary, which
human fighter of paladins appeal. This is the human paladin of paladins.
They already get protection from. Wow.
Dan, what was your first paladin again?
It was a devotion paladin.
Yeah.
Hey Dan, what race was your first paladin again?
I was a human paladin.
What was the name of your first paladin?
It was Thresso. I love that I could make my long sword shiny, and then my warhammer shiny. I could make it glow. It was so wholesome. Anyway, they get lesser restoration, which they already get. They get zone of truth, which they already get. They get beacon of hope.
Why would they give these guys sanctuary?
I don't know. It's not very useful on this paladin. Unfortunate. Beacon of hope, however, very good. Ooh. And paladins don't normally get that. Dispel magic, paladins normally get. Freedom of movement and guardian of faith. They don't get either of those normally, but they're not particularly great. Commune, oh god, flame strike, useless.
Oh, that's right. You get destructive wave. It doesn't fucking matter.
Exactly. So the spell list, very not good, sadly.
Well, flame strike is a 4th level spell though, so I guess you get one more spell slot to blast with.
Flame strike is a 5th.
It's a 5th level spell.
It's a 5th level spell.
You wouldn't get it at 17th.
You wouldn't get it at 17th level.
Oh, you're right. I'm dumb.
Sanctuary is self-cast only, so it's not even.
It's not good. Like Sanctuary is only good if you don't want to hit.
You can choose a creature. You can choose a creature. Oh, you just never see it cast on anyone else because Josh is selfish.
Yeah. No, it's because everybody else wants to blast.
Yeah. That's a fair point, though. That is a very good point. That
do you think it would be? I mean, I guess you could have like Monica cast Hypnotic Pattern and then you just Sanctuary her.
I mean, yeah. I mean, and it's not concentration.
It's a bonus action too.
Mm-hmm. So you could totally protect. If you see the enemies are zugging towards your friend or surrounding your friend, you could Sanctuary them. And that's not bad, actually.
That's actually not bad. It's like again, it's an aggro control mechanic, which is most of them are pretty bad in D&D. So
anyway, the channel divinities. Sacred weapon. As an action, you can imbue one weapon that you're holding with positive energy using your channel divinity. For 1 minute, add your charisma modifier to attack rolls with that weapon, not damage rolls, notably. Minimum of +1. The weapon also emits bright light in a 20-foot radius and dim light 20 feet beyond that. So that's 40 feet of light. If the weapon is not already magical, it becomes magical duration. At 3rd level, that's actually pretty relevant.
The fact that it takes an action
Yeah.
is so painful, though.
Well, the thing
Yeah.
is, it lasts
Last minute.
A minute.
a minute. Okay, so it's not that easy to pre-buff, really.
Yeah.
Uh,
This is. Oh boy. I mean, like
a little
obviously,
bit of accuracy on your weapon.
I think actually like in general this is going to be I would assume on average probably better. Like over 2 turns, I think this would be better than the one that gives you plus 10 to 1 attack, because you're basically getting like plus like what, like 3, I guess, at this level.
I don't know.
It'll
because that
depend
one
on the
doesn't require an
enemy.
action. That one does not require an action.
Oh, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. It's very reactive.
If you're fighting a group of wisps, this one's better.
Yeah. I mean, I
know.
think
But
You definitely use this if you're like, okay, we're gonna open this door and start fighting. I will pre-buff this.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like honestly, this is one of those things that weirdly is like somewhat better at higher levels, just because like you're fighting creatures with really high AC, and your charisma is probably maxed out at that point. Plus 5 to every attack is like pretty okay.
And exactly what Armor says, and what I said earlier, that the magic part of it
Is
is
the more
actually pretty
useful part,
relevant
yeah.
at 3rd level.
True.
Yeah.
God, what it
Once
would
you
be
get a
like to
magic
have
weapon,
magic weapon
this-
at 3rd level.
Once you get a magic weapon, this becomes pretty irrelevant. But
It
it's
is.
still
It
there.
is. I will say you're right though. It is very nice until you get there, especially
Mhm.
because a lot of games will not give you magic weapons at 3rd level, and
That's true.
sometimes they will make you fight things that require magic weapons at 3rd level. You're all too poor to buy magic
the-
weapons.
The other channel divinity, turn the unholy. As an action, you present your holy symbol, or put it on your shield, item, and speak a prayer censuring fiends and undead using the channel divinity. Each fiend and undead that you can see or hear you within 30 feet of you must make a wisdom saving throw. If you fails the saving throw, it is turned for 1 minute or until it takes damage. Ooh. A turned creature must spend its turn trying to move as far away from you as it can, and it can't willingly move to a space within 3 feet of you. It also can't take reactions for its action. Okay, yeah. It has to keep dashing away. Yeah, and they can
Mhm.
use it. I guess.
Pretty good.
And it's no challenge rating fiends and undead. This is technically slightly better than the ancients one, right?
Is
Yes,
it any
because
different than it?
Oh, really?
well, so
yeah,
this-
because undead are more common than fae.
undead are more common than fae. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, true.
So, and not only that, undead are okay. So here's the thing, right? Is that not only you have to consider like how creatures, like what type of creatures they are, you have to consider how they will generally be used and approached, right? So the thing about undead is that undead tend to be swarm creatures. There tends to be a lot of them, right?
Yeah, true.
So it's actually much more useful, and I think that's why clerics kind of get like turn undead, which is why it's so funny that it's so limited by challenge rating. Paladins are just like
Ugh.
leave, turn, go back, do not pass go.
I prefer the paladin ones. Like we only get one of them as a paladin, but it's better. And,
But it's
the
better,
other
yeah.
one sucks so much that you'll never use it. And the paladin one, even though it's better, is so niche that you might also never use it. I never used it.
Yeah, of course not.
We never had enough enemies for this ever to be worth even considering. It just depends on your campaign. If you're in a campaign where you're like, we're gonna be fighting swarms of undead forever, this is actually pretty good.
It's a great ability, great pickup.
Huh. It's an action. It is an action, but that's worthy. That's worthy of an action.
Left
certain
4 Dead campaign.
instances. Yeah. If you can like turn like 20 undead with one action, that's efficiency.
Yeah, it's super value, right?
But I wanted to blow them up.
What if you don't have anyone to blow them up?
Well, then, yeah. That's
Yeah.
a
What
very
if you
good
what if
use.
you happen to have like a weird game where nobody has a blaster?
Can't.
Or what if
can't relate.
what if you just turn the ones that got through the blasters? I don't know.
Yeah.
Or the strong ones, the beefy ones. You could turn the beefy ones that were too
Yeah.
big to blast.
Good for its niche, but still niche is our assessment.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It is
Okay.
rough that they are immediately unturned when they take damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is still
But like,
very
yeah,
niche. It
yeah.
is
I mean,
very niche.
a similar case for like hypnotic pattern and stuff. So I wouldn't really count that as like super
No.
knock. It's just it is a way.
Yeah.
It's a way of crowd controlling, which is
Yeah.
always nice to have. Crowd control is one of the most powerful things in really any game, actually. But I think people sleep on crowd control a little bit in D&D, even though it's like kind of nuts. 7th level. Can't be charmed.
Yeah. Speaking of underwhelming.
Starting at 7th level, you and friendly creatures within 10 feet of you can't be charmed while you're conscious. Wow, I was expecting it to be the plus charisma to saves, but that's a base paladin, isn't it?
No,
This
that's
one
base paladin.
you just get no charm. Okay, cool, great. Moving on.
Yeah, that's yeah. I mean, like, if charms suck in general, but like, I feel like I'm more likely to just play in a game where like a charm never comes up.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Exactly. This is like a chastity belt. It's an RP chastity belt. You're like, I will never stray from my faith. I have never lost my virginity because I never lose.
Oh my god.
You know, like it's just that kind of stuff.
Wow.
Like you're devoted. You'll never cheat.
Yup.
That being said,
it's
at
something.
15th level, you are always under the effects of a protection from evil and good spell, which is really good.
Yeah, if those creatures are around.
I mean, like yes, but the thing about protection from evil and good is I'm pretty sure it is all those creatures.
Yes.
So
It is.
aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiend, and undead. So that's pretty much every enemy type in the game that's not just like people,
What?
right?
Is it?
Constructs.
Constructs, okay. So you don't, but like how rare are constructs?
Enemy types. Let me
Well,
check
okay.
enemy.
Hot take. How rare are people?
Like
I think it depends. I think it depends. I think in a game that I'm running, obviously there's a lot of people, but
It's
I
like
think
99% people. There's no
But-
non-people.
but in I think base D&D in general, there's not a lot of stat blocks for people fighting, which I think will generally guide
Human-
people towards fighting.
I mean, there's also
monsters.
like giants, oozes, plants,
giants, oozes, plants, okay.
beasts,
This
dragons.
Yeah, oozes. I thought oozes might be separate, but I couldn't. I was like, it
Yeah,
has to be an
constructs.
aberration, right? No. So there definitely are other types. This
But this is a large swath of them.
Yeah,
this
it's
would
definitely
be
good.
this would be so unfathomably good in our current campaign.
Oh my god.
just-
Yeah, it would be nuts.
I just realized. So yeah, I you know in that fight that we had 2 days ago, where I almost got chunked. I think this would have. I have a cloak that gives me
So-
protection from evil and good.
What? You
Yeah.
do?
Yeah, I think I completely forgot about it.
Oh my god,
Oh,
Tyler, this spell is so good. The only
It's-
reason that I don't cast this spell as a cleric is because I can only target one person and it eats my concentration. But like
Yeah.
it's like occasionally those types have disadvantage on attack rolls against the target. Target also can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them. It suppresses those effects if they are, and they have advantage on any new saving throws. Or no, they have advantage on any new saving throws, not suppressing.
Yeah,
Like-
I do.
like, just taking the monster manual and like I'm gonna say like even erring on the leaner side, I would say that these monster types are probably about like 50% of the book, right? Being able to not be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them, and have them have disadvantage on attack rolls against you is really good.
What's their 20th level?
Holy
20th
Nimbus.
level. Go ahead.
At 20th level, as an action, you emanate an aura of sunlight for 1 minute. Bright light shines in a 30-foot radius, dim light 30 feet beyond that. Whenever an enemy starts its turn in the bright light, the creature takes 10 radiant damage. In addition, for the duration, you have
Amazing.
advantage on saving throws against spells cast by fiends or undead,
Okay.
and you can use it once per long rest. Cool.
I mean, it's a little underwhelming.
Listen,
Got
not
it.
every 20th level can be an absolute winner, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it's an action. I mean, I guess if you were fighting like a lich or something, it would be
1 minute.
good.
It's an action. It's 1 minute. You get light. They take
You
some
become
piddly
shiny.
damage. And then, yeah, you have advantage on saving throws against spells cast by two types, this is a really bad 20th level feature.
Yeah, this is not.
It's
this is
so
not good.
bad.
I feel like it would be very hard to justify using this unless you were fighting like 100 goblins and all you did was activate the aura and walk into the goblins.
or just a million vampires so that you can just like sunlight all of them at once.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Does it
Perfect.
does it count as sunlight?
You emanate an aura of sunlight.
I know it says that.
That could be the I would interpret that as
I would
sunlight.
interpret that, but it doesn't say like this light counts as daylight, which is what most text
Normally
around
they
that,
say that, yeah.
says.
Is it daylight, not sunlight? Oh
Yeah.
god. Well, either way, they'll take radiant
Yeah.
damage, so it'll nullify their regen either way.
It's super niche.
But yeah,
so
that's
we rate this.
oh god, yeah.
Well,
It doesn't have a lot going for it, unfortunately.
not really.
At all.
But
Is C average or below average?
C is
Well,
It's
if you look
average.
on this list, C and B, directly between C and B is
Oh,
dead
yeah, yeah.
average.
yeah.
I think I would be okay with C.
Why? Why C is such a high rating for this?
Obviously, it's D for devotion.
I was I don't know why, but I wasn't expecting that. Where do you think it should be, Dan?
Well, it can't be in C. This is- wait, you're like average. It means it has like an average amount of things going for it. This, what is it going for it?
It really doesn't have anything going for it.
15th level.
15th level is
Wait,
is
no, even
so
then.
late.
It's too.
It's
All
still,
right, all right.
it's still
Level
niche.
1 through 14, you basically do nothing. You hardly have a feature.
God, what? Hold on. What the fuck is going on with paladins? Why do paladins get so little
It's
between
not just-
7 and
yeah.
15? Oh my god!
It's because they have a lot of base paladin shit.
Yeah, they
man.
don't have
got-
that
Not
many.
even that many. Like
They got through Divine
ASI.
Smite and the Immune to Fears aura.
You know what? It's because
Yeah, it's not
spells.
improved design by
Spells.
and then they get spell slots. That's why. It's why it feels so underwhelming because you're like,
At
oh, this is
14th
a
level,
level
they
I
get
just
the
this
magic
spell.
touch of bad thing be gone.
Goodbye disease. Yeah, I'm inclined to say D for devotion.
You've convinced me.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. It just feels like God, paladins are so weird. Their
Paladins are
subclasses are not crazy strong for the most part.
Paladins are really good though. It's got a chutzpah.
Yeah,
Listen, you'll see Vengeance Paladin.
I do love Vengeance. That was the one paladin I played, by the way.
Well, that's a good choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oath of Glory. They believe they and their companions are destined to achieve a glory through deeds of heroism. Cool. All right, you get Guiding Bolt. Heroism, enhanceability, magic weapon, haste, protection from energy, compulsion, freedom of movement, commune, and flame strike. When you take this oath at 3rd level, you gain the following 2 channel divinity options. Peerless Athlete. As a bonus action, you can, for the next 10 minutes, have advantage on strength, athletics, and dexterity acrobatics checks. You can you can carry, push, drag, and lift twice as much weight as normal, and the distance of your long and high jumps increases by 10 feet.
Yeah, it's bad.
That's so funny.
Dan, steady there. You can lift twice as much as normal.
Be still, my heart.
Oh my god.
I honestly, I'm here just for the 15-foot vertical leap.
I still love that this extra distance cost movement is normal. Like it you can't give him anything, can you?
You
Okay.
can't have shit around here. All right, Inspiring Smite. Immediately after you deal damage to a creature with your Divine Smite feature, you can use your Channel Divinity as a bonus action and distribute temporary hit points to creatures of your choice within 30 feet of you, which can include you. The number of temporary hit points equals to 2d8 plus your level in this class, divided among the chosen creatures however you like. You know what? Not terrible.
That's pretty good.
It scales, and I think honestly you're mostly going to be giving this to yourself anyway.
Yeah, and you can use it on your first turn.
Like, I feel like giving yourself like let's say like 5th level, it's like 5 plus 2d8 is like 10, so 50. Giving yourself 15 temporary hit points at 5th level, basically for free when you are divine smiting a thing you're already doing. Not bad. Like,
Would you
is
rather
it,
have 15 temper HP, or would you rather turn one miss into a hit? Like,
I
which
mean,
which is a
yes,
stronger
I
effect?
think the other one
Yeah.
is better. I think
It's
Guiding Strike is better.
yeah.
But Channel Divinities on Paladins, you know?
This
At early
one's nice
levels,
because it's
though-
guaranteed.
At third level, that's a fuck ton of HP.
Oh yeah, 2d8 is very many hit point at a low level.
I was about to say there's no scaling, but it does scale with level at least,
Scales
which is
decently.
Pretty good.
Like, it doesn't
I
scale
guess.
amazingly, but like your level is not a bad way to scale.
The
And
20th level, that's 29 HP.
I don't
Okay.
think there's gonna be a lot of situations in which
Divided.
you're really actually distributing this. I think you're gonna be dumping all of them onto one
No,
person.
Why would you distribute such a piddling amount?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. You're like, okay, everybody, you get 2 temporary hit
You
points.
get 1.
Why?
You get 3. You get 2.
No, you know what? You're right. I would play this just to annoy people by giving everybody 1 temporary hit point.
It's just like, great. I have to remember that now. I have to write
Exactly.
that out,
It's
Ugh.
evil.
Oh,
Okay.
you're right. We
Piece
have
of
to
shit.
value the troll level now.
The troll level. This is an S rank troll. Okay. At 7th level, you emanate an aura that fills you and your companions with supernatural speed. Your walking speed increases by 10 feet. In addition, if you aren't incapacitated, the walking speed of any ally who starts their turn within 5 feet of you increases by 10 feet until the end of that turn. And then that aura increases to 10 feet at 18th level.
Wow.
Wait, what?
What?
They don't even
I
give it
thought
the full
everything was 30
scaling. They're like,
feet.
if you move too fast, it's too strong. I don't
we
get
know,
it.
We know this from experience, by the way, but this aura is incredibly jank to attempt to give
It's
to your
so
allies.
it's so bad.
I remember Brendan was trying to get us to get extra movement speed, and it never fucking worked.
It did.
No.
It never
Oh.
worked. This is
And-
just a
and
gym
even
bro.
if it did work,
This is a
it was such
CrossFit Paladin.
minute- But it's just like, this might as well not be an aura. This is just, you get extra 10. You just get 10 for your movement speed.
Right.
It's like, you just
Like-
have no aura.
Exactly, which is pretty bad because aura is like really important for paladins. It's just
Yeah, aura's like their defining thing.
This is basically just like a CrossFit guy who's just like, people have a really bad impression of CrossFit, but actually I think it's pretty good for you if you give it a try. It's a multidisciplinary exercise routine regimen, and it just one interesting, one cool unexpected trick will make you just move 10 feet faster every turn. All you have to do is be within 5 feet of me while I do these push-ups.
I do think having 10 feet of extra movement speed on Paladin is actually quite good.
I mean that's pretty good, but it's
True.
just like, why
would
this
agree.
aura is just so so bad.
I still can't
It's
get
so
over
janky. It's so annoying.
the fact that they gave you a 5-foot aura in a class that has a 10-foot aura. I just can't.
And then
I
they
just
increase it to
can't.
10 feet at a
Can you
level
even
which
call it an
most get
aura?
30.
That's just like
Yeah.
that's just like if they hold your hand, you can
Right, exactly. It's not even an aura. It's literally just if they're right next to you, if you can touch them, you give them a high five and they move a little faster.
God.
Okay, anyway. Have you heard of our Lord and Savior CrossFit?
And then you're like one step away from the NFT Paladin.
Oh no! Hello, I am the non-fungible paladin. Oh, that's awful. Okay. Anyway, 15th level, you can turn defense into a sudden strike. When you or another creature you can see within 10 feet of you is hit by an attack roll, you can use your reaction to grant a bonus to the target's AC against that attack, causing it to potentially miss. The bonus equals your charisma modifier. If the attack misses, you can make one weapon attack against the attacker as part of this reaction, provided the attacker is within your weapon's range. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your charisma modifier, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. I mean, like, not like honestly not terrible. Like, if you like, okay, so you have to be within 10 feet of somebody, which is like kind of a bummer, but you can basically give them a shield, and then as part of that shield you can attack the person who attacked
Is it for the whole turn or just that one
against that attack. So
Okay.
it's not quite as good. It's like a parry. You give
But you
someone
do
a
get-
parry.
Yeah.
Equal
A
number of
parry
times
or
equal to your charisma modifier, so it's
I mean,
basically
15th level
the
is probably
entire
like
fight.
4 or 5, yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
never gonna blow through them all because you only have so many turns and so many reactions.
That's pretty good.
Is that? No, I just reread it.
Is it
It's
good?
probably good.
I think it's okay. Like,
It's
I
not
think it's a
bad.
good effect. I just don't like the thing is that it comes at that 15th level. This is always the thing about
Yeah.
15th level paladin features is that they're always like they're like the equivalent power level of like a 9th level ability, but coming at 15 for
Yeah.
some reason. Like
Hmm.
there's like
If you have okay,
yeah.
if you have 5 charisma somehow at 15th level, which is not unheard of, that is a parry. That like monsters have that +5 AC parry, and you can get another attack in, which is another
Yeah.
divine smite. If you do this every turn, for instance, that's 50% more divine smites.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty.
I-
Which
pretty
why wouldn't you
compelling.
do it every turn? Yeah.
I'll admit. Well, the reason you
Yeah.
wouldn't do it every turn is because you need to have an attack
Hit you.
that misses an that would. I mean, okay.
It hits you barely.
Oh, it's only
barely
if it
hits you.
causes it to miss. Yeah.
It's conditional, yeah.
Yeah.
Although there's a caveat here, which
You
is
can
that
tell.
you can use it on attacks that you know will miss anyway if you just want to smack.
So
Am I right?
No. If
when
the
you or
attack
another
misses.
creature you can see within 10 feet of you is
Yeah.
hit by an
It's
attack
hit.
roll.
You can't. No.
You
So
have to say
it has to
if
be-
the attack misses.
It has to be in that
Oh.
window. So like
Yeah.
it's pretty hard to use. I mean, it's going to be
I think
it
it's
is
pretty
useful
good.
to avoid attacks by suddenly spiking your AC. It is useful to have extra attacks, especially as a paladin. But there's just so many limits on this.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good when it happens.
I think it's a
it'll
pretty good
happen fairly
effect.
often, actually.
I think it's a pretty good effect.
Yeah.
I just like just the fact that it comes at 15th level is like so painful.
You also have to be right next to the target,
Or
Well,
well, you can do it on you.
or I guess you have to be right.
There's a little problem with paladins, though. Is the first feature that they could ever put this in, the first level they could put this in, is 15th level. Because
Yeah,
7th
I
level is
know.
always an aura, and 3rd level is always a channel divinity. They don't get any other features below.
God,
15th
you're right.
level.
Paladins are so weird.
So the design on paladin subclasses is very limited until you get to 15th level.
I guess they were afraid that they would be too strong if they gave them too many features early, which I understand. Paladins get a lot of things.
I feel like the majority of their scaling up until 15th is
You've got essentially
their
nothing
divine-
for 8 levels
divine
so when you're
smite.
roaming. I feel like it's not even that like you don't get anything for 8 levels. It's like you do get stuff. You get new levels of spells and you get the improved divine smite and you get the aura of unfrightened or whatever. But I think there's a big problem in that there's too many levels between subclass features, because a lot of the times when people are playing something, they want to play for that subclass. So if you spread them out that far, then essentially you
Yeah.
only have half a subclass that you're playing with. And
I totally, for that reason, I like the classes that have less base class features and more subclass
and more
features. 'Cause that means
subclass
there's more
features. Yeah,
variance.
because they feel more variable and unique. I feel paladins feel very consistent because you're always gonna get a channel divinity at 3rd level, and you're always gonna get an aura at 7th level, and
Yep.
like your base paladin features are really strong. You get lay on hands, you get the ability to divine smite, which is fucking nuts. You get an aura that increases saving throws. Like you always want a paladin in your party. Like there's never a case where like having a paladin is bad just on base paladin features alone. But there's just like so much distance between these two things where it's just like you feel so samey,
Yeah.
Like
I
if you
definitely
don't have an interesting aura, or if you don't have an interesting channel divinity, like
yeah, there's definitely not a lot of variance in play
what?
styles and
Yeah,
stuff.
like what are you doing as a paladin? You're just a base paladin.
Have we looked at the 20th level feature?
Living legend. Let's see. You bless with you gain advantage on all charisma checks. Okay.
Bonus action. This one. It's a bonus action, not an action.
Oh, it's a bonus action. Once on each of your turns, when you make a weapon attack and miss, you can cause that attack to hit instead. That's really good. If
That's
you fail a
great.
saving throw, you can use your reaction to re-roll it. You must use this new roll.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's good. That second one, the weapon attack and miss, that is about equal, a little bit worse than the Conqueror's 3rd extra attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest, unless you expend a 5th level spell slot to use it again. So this is reusable.
Advantage
which
on charisma checks. That's good for out of combat.
it's good for auto combat, but like, you know,
5th level spell slot though. Don't you get 1 or 2 of those? You just like it.
You get 2.
I think you get 2.
Okay.
In general, I think
that's so expensive.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think in general you're gonna be using it to blast, and you wouldn't really want to use it for this, but it's nice that they give you the option, I guess.
Yeah, but like
it's if you're in it for the long haul.
yes, if you're using this out of combat, it feels bad. It's like
It does.
let me use my highest level spell. My other classes, that's their wish spells. That's their 9th level spells. Here you're using your highest level spell slot. And you get advantage on charisma checks.
That is the other thing I wanted to bring up about paladins in general, which is that while it's true that you get access to new levels of spells, and that's cool, there are levels of spells that everybody, like all the casters in your party, have already gotten access to a long time ago. You feel like you're so late to the party.
Yeah. And in addition, you get paladin spells.
You get paladin spells, and a lot of them are really trash.
The only thing better than cleric. No, sorry, cleric spells. The only thing's worse than paladin spells.
I think I'm ready to make a deliberation on Oath of Glory. I think it's a D tier class.
It's a what now? Sorry.
I think it's a D tier class.
Yeah, I think so too. Actually,
I feel like it's not quite F tier, just because like it has some saving graces. Inspiring Smite is not like total garbage. I mean, it's pretty close, but it's not total garbage.
Well,
you get access to the haste spell, which is interesting. You get 10 feet of movement speed just for you, honestly, and that's
haste
fine.
is a good spell.
Glorious Defense is probably like the best.
We kind of skipped over the spell things before we could discuss them. Okay. But haste is a good spell. Guiding Bolt is actually a ranged option, where paladins don't really get ranged options. Magic Weapons fucking sucks, and it's already on their spell list.
Yeah.
It's so depressing to have haste as a paladin, as a spell you can cast, though, because what are you going to do? Cast it on yourself?
Yes.
And have it break first turn when you fail the
okay.
Check?
I harped on about concentration with regard to the other spell. The cost of losing concentration on
far
haste
worse.
Is so much higher than losing it on the other one, that I actually agree with Tyler. I initially was like, haste is a fucking awesome spell, but I do not think you can really cast it.
I have been in that situation before as a paladin where I got the ability to cast haste, and I was just like, this is amazing. Oh, wait.
I don't
know about this one, actually.
I got really excited when I saw it on their spell list, but I think on second thought, I have to I don't think it's that good on this class specifically.
If you get haste for 2 turns and then get it lost and you lose your 3rd turn, it's above that. It's greater than neutral.
But that doesn't happen.
But it's barely greater than neutral, which means
which means it's not worth the risk.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone else has to cast it on you. It's just like a polymorph. Yeah.
All right, somebody else read this. Oath of Heroism.
Wait, hold on. No. Where did we put it in D? Because I actually do agree with Dan, despite that it is
devotion might be F.
It is better than Glory, but I do think it probably belongs to D. I think we should.
I mean, Glory is better than Devotion.
Or Glory is better than Devotion. Sorry.
You think Devotion is an F tier?
I'm okay waiting.
I'm okay waiting as well, but my suspicion earlier was that Devotion was either D or F, and we'll see. But
yeah.
I'm okay with it in D.
No, I'm actually completely okay just kind of putting it in F now. It's pretty nothing.
I'm surprised. I actually thought Devotion was pretty good going into this.
I didn't think Devotion was good, but I thought it was very Paladin.
Average.
Well, I thought it would at least be average. It really wasn't.
It's easy to make the mistake of thinking of it as average because you look at it, you're like, that has no noticeable features. It must be average. But in D&D, if something has nothing going for it, that means it's down at F tier.
Yeah.
You got a point there. Okay,
you have to stand out in some way to be even be average.
All right, someone read this.
I want to pull it up. I'm sorry. Which one is this?
Oath of Heroism.
I think you're on the wrong.
Fine, I'll read it. You get the spells: Expeditious Retreat, Guiding Bolt again. Wow. Enthrall,
Wait, hang on.
enhance
Am I looking at the
ability.
wrong one?
No.
No.
What is this?
This is Unearthed Arcana.
Yeah.
It-
What were you looking at?
at?
I was looking at the spell list. I'm like, didn't we just read this? No.
Oh my god.
It's very similar spell list, but yeah.
I was just seeing if there was a printed version. Sorry. Go on.
Yeah, Armor, you're totally right. We can't really consider multi-class because it'll just get fucking nuts.
Multi-class is just
Yeah.
super fucky. If we're talking
Yeah.
about multi-classes, there's like one S tier class and it's blade locked or whatever.
Hexblade, yeah, I was gonna say.
Well.
When we did, oh no, we haven't done Warlocks yet, but yeah, I mean we'll bring it up, but yeah, we have to rate it on its own.
So we haven't. I can't read the top part. It's covered. Like what's this subclass about?
Heroism. It's an affirmation of a destined path, one laid out for you by divine hands.
That's about as
You are the
Paladin,
main character.
yeah,
Yes, it literally.
protagonist Paladin.
Yeah.
I'm opening up my own page.
I have it open. I'll go for it. Your oath spells, because I'm not reading the tenets, are Expeditious Retreat, Guiding Bolt, Enhance Ability, and Enthrall. 9th level is Haste and Protection from Energy. 13th level is Compulsion and Freedom of Movement. And 17th level is Commune and Conjure Volley.
This is a. I think this was made into Glory, by the way.
Oh, do you think
Oh
so?
no, was it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would make sense.
Look at
They
look
seem
at all the
very
shit.
similar,
There are some noticeable differences.
Oh, there are a
There
lot
are
of
some-
noticeable differences.
There are
there.
a lot of noticeable differences, but you can tell that this was like a predecessor.
Oh yeah, you're right. Because the level 21 is basically the same. The 15th level one is let's see,
Just reworded.
it's somewhat different.
Do we rate
this one
it
is just
then?
for you.
What is Enthrall?
I don't know. I don't remember the spell at all.
I'm reading it. You weave a distract. It's second level, one action, lasts a minute, 60 feet. You basically cause creatures of your choice you can see within range and can hear you to make a wisdom saving throw. Any creature that can't be charmed automatically succeeds.
It charms people.
On a failed save, the target has disadvantage on wisdom perception checks made to perceive any creature other than you until the
Oh.
spell ends, or until the target cannot hear you.
Okay.
It literally just makes you harder to see. Wait.
you
No,
made
it makes other people harder to see.
It's the distract.
So
Okay.
they can see you better.
I see. I get it.
And-
I get it now.
and then your rogue sneaks off. Like this is kind of super bad for
Yeah.
a paladin.
I will say, I like that the channel divinity for this one is legendary strike, which is you use a bonus action for 1 minute. Your weapon attack score a critical hit on a roll of 19 or 20.
I like it.
That does sound
It's-
fun.
It's okay. Very short, very sweet, very simple. It's a bonus action. Like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Why not?
And the
Like,
other one is simple.
Here's the thing: is that
advantage
like
on-
crit fishing is always like pretty bad, except doubling your crit rate on a paladin is like.
That's pretty good, actually. Yeah.
It's not like you're using your bonus action for anything anyway.
Yeah.
And also, Paladin crits are
Paladin
amongst
crits
the
are
juiciest
nasty.
crits.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying. That's what
Only
they're
next
saying.
to rogues. What? Yeah.
At 7th level, Mighty Deed, your
So-
actions on the battlefield can supernaturally bolster your allies and demoralize your enemies. Whenever you
Whenever you
score a critical
score a
hit
critical hit.
or reduce a creature to 0
Okay.
hit points, you can choose one or more creatures that you can see within 30 feet of you, up to a number equal to your charisma modifier, so probably like 3 at this point. All the chosen creatures are affected by one of the following your choice. So they can either gain like 6.5 temporary HP,
Wait, this is
Or they
way
can-
stronger than glory.
or you could frighten them. You could try to frighten enemies. What?
This is significantly stronger than glory.
And this is not even an aura. Maybe they're like, wait, shit, we fucked up. This isn't an aura.
That's probably what they did. They were like, "Oh fuck, we forgot to give the paladin an aura." They were like, "We wrote this on Unearthed Arcana," and like the fucking Jeremy Crawford was like, "This bitch don't have an aura."
That's funny. Giving like 3 of your allies, like I don't know, that's like almost 28 HP worth of stuff every time you get a kill.
Every time you
That's
kill
not
or crit,
bad.
and you have a higher crit rate.
Yeah,
Wait,
that's not
How
bad.
much
Pretty
HP? Oh, total. Is
Yeah.
that what you mean? You said 28, and I was like, each ally 28.
No, I said 20. I said
Oh, okay.
about 20 because 6.5 times 3 is 19.5. Anyway, but if your charisma was even higher than the modifier of 3, if it was like 5, for instance, you can get 5 allies, each of them getting 8.5 temporary HP. That's
And you can do it every
42.5 HP for your whole party every time you get a kill. That's kind of nuts.
Like you can also proc this once per turn.
Yeah.
at the most frequent, which is like, pretty good.
Yeah.
And
It's a lot
paladins
of
get a
hit
lot of
points.
kills with their burstiness.
True.
They do. You can only use this once per turn if your whole party takes the exact damage or more every single turn, to be fair, because you can't stack it with itself. But the thing you can do, exactly. They give you they give you an option if your party is already temp HP'd, or you're just feeling kind of scary that day. You can fear the shit out of anything remaining. This is kind of good, isn't it?
That's good, and you can
It's
even
a
on
lot
boss
better
monsters
than
will probably
Glory, let me
succeed,
tell
but
you
you can
that.
like burn some legendary resistances.
It is very bad in 1-on-1.
Yeah. Because at that point you're relying on the crit, which is like never where you want to be.
No.
It's
But you are twice as likely.
Twice as likely you have a 10% crit rate, which is
Not bad.
not okay. Yeah. Like the thing is 10% crit rate is like decent in a video game where you make a lot of attacks, but as a paladin you make like 2 attacks per turn.
If you could somehow get advantage, you'll get like a crit or 2 per combat. Without advantage, you're looking at less than 1 crit per combat on average, I think.
Oh,
Agreed.
easily. Because you're only making like 6 attacks usually.
Exactly. That's about what I was going with my math. About 6 attacks, yeah.
So has anyone played a dual wielding paladin?
I mean, you could. It's not exactly-
I did once in like a one-off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Does it
works.
scale how you think?
Well, it's 3 divine smites, but that's really what you're looking for.
That
Yeah.
does sound pretty good.
That does sound pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious.
It's totally fine. I've done ranged paladin as well. I remember there was like a sage advice to say like, I guess divine. There's nothing wrong with letting you divine smite on ranged attacks, even though as written it doesn't work on ranged attacks.
I have always wanted to play like a bow paladin. I don't know why the idea just tickles me.
Justice demands retribution, he says faintly in the distance.
Dan,
Justice demands retribution.
and Dan, the other thing you did was you played in a one-off the trolly druid paladin.
Oh fuck yeah, the druid paladin.
Where you shapeshift and then use druid spell slots to divine smite for 1 billion damage.
Yeah, I was a mammoth divine smiting with my tusks. See,
Hanzo
Paladin,
Paladin, yes. My aim is unerring.
So I've done bow paladins, tusk paladins, dual wield paladins, sword and board paladins,
Rogue
two-handed paladins, warlock paladins. Everything.
I haven't seen you play a paladin recently, man.
It's been a bit.
All right. Glorious Defense is actually interesting because it's exactly the same as before, except it's when they hit you instead of when they hit an ally.
Interesting. But the other one was like an ally or
the other one was an
the
ally
other one was
or you.
ally.
Oh, okay. I was wondering. All right.
This is directly worse, but the other
this
one
actually
was
this got
used
worse
on yourself anyway.
This one's not
because-
limited by charisma mod, but that probably doesn't matter most times.
Yeah.
Is it not? It says the bonus equals to your charisma log.
It does.
Number of uses,
number of uses.
Okay.
which doesn't really matter. Well, I mean, when are you going to run out of that?
This I feel like.
Wait.
What?
Wait.
Wait. Give it a second. Yeah,
No,
but
never
like,
mind.
but like, I was gonna say that most of the cases where you would use the other one anyway were on yourself anyway. 'Cause
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need an ally within 10 feet of you.
And you had to be within 5 feet of that enemy. So yeah, it's very. I mean, doable. You just all stand next to each other. But yeah, agreed. This is about the same.
Also, I do realize that there is an aspect of I was just reading like the chat again, but like there's an aspect of like multi-classing where multi-classing in general is like the stronger a class is for multi-classing, the more compelling its early features are, which is kind of the way we do it anyway. So as a general guideline, it's kind of okay. But anyway,
True.
it would be impossible to do a full multi-class guide. It would be way too many factors.
Is the level 20 is different. If you fail a saving throw, you can use your reaction to succeed instead.
Whoa.
Yep,
Wait.
that's really
Kind of
good.
nuts.
Wait, you just get legendary
You
resistance?
give yourself
For free.
infinite legendary resistances once per turn.
Jeez. I mean,
round.
that's more like the 20th level features that we've been used to.
Yeah.
It's a little weird, unfortunate because you want to be spamming your glorious defense, and now But at 20th level, you kind of want to be spamming
You
that.
kind of want to save it in case you get hit by a big
Yeah,
thing,
it'll be awkward because you want to save it, but it's still very strong.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
This one lasts 10 minutes. I
Yeah,
think
Glory Paladin
last one lasts 10
has the
minutes.
exact same problem, but it has much less compelling features. I feel like, is it safe to say that this this is a lot better? Like,
Yeah.
I only think it's like one tier above.
I don't think it's B tier, but I think there's very clearly a cut above Glory.
I think
I was thinking C.
I think it's
Yeah,
C as
C
well.
works for me.
It has really its only benefits are its 7th level feature is a lot better. It loses 10 feet of movement speed, and then it has legendary strike, which is a little better. So
It'll
it's like
be
a tier above.
It'll be really funny if we come out of this with 0 S tier paladins.
Yeah.
I want to get this out here. It's been a while since I looked at Vengeance. I don't remember them being like absolutely insane.
Also,
Talk
can I
about
just-
multi-class. Speaking of multi-classing, Vengeance is the paladin multi-class.
Oh
baby.
yeah.
Yeah, I bet. So
It enables so much bullshit with elven accuracy on like any build.
I would just like to
Oh,
point out we are
no.
making extremely good time.
I know. I think we
It's
just
because-
do it all.
It's
Oathbreaker,
because how
baby!
used to paladins we are.
So, an Oathbreaker is a paladin who breaks their sacred oaths to pursue some dark ambition or serve an evil power. Whatever light burned in the paladin's heart has been extinguished, and only darkness remains.
Jesus.
So anyway, this is the Edgelord Paladin. You get Hellish Rebuke, Inflict Wounds, lol, Crown of Madness, Darkness, Animate Dead, Bestow Curse,
Darkness.
Blight, Confusion, Contagion, and Dominate Person. CrossFit Paladin again. Yeah, exactly.
evil CrossFit.
I broke my sacred oath to follow our Lord CrossFit.
This is definitely the non-fungible
Had
paladin.
sex for one time. Paladin.
This is a non-fungible paladin if I've ever seen one.
No. The Batman, if you will. Oh, good. And
FP.
Had sex one time, didn't go down. Okay. 3rd level, you get Control Undead. As an action, you target one undead creature you can see within 30 feet of you. The target must make a Wisdom saving throw, which is pretty decent because most undead suck at Wisdom. On a failed save, the target must obey your commands for the next 24 hours or until you use this Channel Divinity option again. An undead whose challenge rating is equal to or greater than your paladin level is immune to this effect. I mean, it's fine, honestly. Like, at 3rd level, most undead you're encountering are already lower than you.
yeah.
Or
true.
Dreadful Aspect. As an action, you channel the darkest emotions and focus them into a burst of magical menace. Each creature of your choice within 30 feet of you must make a Wisdom saving throw if it can see you. On a failed save, the target is frightened of you for 1 minute. If a creature frightened by this effect ends its turn more than 30 feet away from you, it can attempt another Wisdom saving throw to end the effect on it. Yeah, this paladin listens to MCR, true. The angst it in. Aura of Hate. As well as any fiends and undead within 10 feet of you, as well as any fiends and undead, gain a bonus to melee weapon damage rolls equal to your charisma modifier. A creature can benefit from this feature from only one paladin at a time. At 18th level, the range of this aura increases to 30 feet. So this is the paladin with the good aura, because he just gets to do extra free damage.
This
This is the funny aura in my opinion.
This
I think
paladin
this
has
is so
such
fucking funny.
hilarious.
Because it's basically, in most
Lord
cases, a straight
flavor.
damage buff for you, and obviously, if you are controlling any undead, it's great, because they get an extra bonus to their damage equal to your charisma modifier. But any enemy fiends or undead also get that bonus,
Oh god.
which is so funny.
We ran into this problem with Brendan.
Yeah.
Oh, the
We were
enemy.
like, please don't stand next to those undead we're killing. They're hitting us for like way more damage because of you.
It really amps up. It fucks your party over so much. It's so funny.
It was hilarious.
This even happens to the paladin themselves. Like, no, you undead, get away from me.
No.
You hate them so much that they. Oh god.
At 15th level, you gain resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from non-magical weapons.
It's kind of amazing.
That's really
Honestly.
good. Hey, look, free stone
That's
skin.
infinite. Yeah, I mean that's just permanent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really good
You-
also because it somewhat mitigates the like fiend and undead
Yeah.
more the undead than the fiends, because fiends tend to have magical weapon
And
Parts.
as we've been over many times. Like, actually, fiends don't even tend to have magical weapons.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay.
They almost all of them do non-magical damage.
All right, there you go then.
Like even at 50th level, like almost every enemy you fight does non-magical damage. It's pretty rare to have an enemy do magical damage.
All right.
It's kind of weird.
With the caveat, obviously, that it depends on the campaign.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But that goes with that.
I mean, in the
For
Josh
instance, if
campaign,
we-
they all do magical
yeah,
damage.
they literally every single one will do magical damage.
Oh, I was just thinking about shoving this paladin into Dan's current campaign.
Oh, it'd be
He's
awful.
so bad.
That would be so bad.
Oh
All right.
no!
At 20th level, as an action, you can surround yourself with an aura of gloom for 1 minute. The aura reduces any bright light in a 30-foot radius around you to dim light. Whenever an enemy that is frightened by you starts to turn in the aura, it takes 4d10 psychic damage. All right? Additionally, you and any creatures of your choosing in the aura are draped in deeper shadow. Creatures that rely on sight have disadvantage on attack rolls against creatures draped in shadow. Okay? While the aura lasts, you can use a bonus action on your turn to cause the shadows in the aura to attack one creature. Make a melee spell attack against that creature. If the attack hits, the target takes necrotic damage equal to 3d10 plus your charisma modifier. After activating the aura, you can't do so until you finish a long rest. This is really good. It's basically just damage and like disadvantage against a little bit of tanking sort of. You could become harder to hit. This is really good because you also just get the ability to essentially cast inflict wounds for free as a bonus action on your turn. And it's 3d10 plus your charisma mods. It's actually better. So it's like the equivalent value of a first level spell slot as a bonus action for a paladin. The thematics of this with spirit guardians would be wild. Yeah, if they got access to spirit guardians.
That would be so cool.
Oh yeah,
It'd be great. It'd be like zombie hands coming from the abyss to grab your ankles.
Yeah, and then you'd go with the necrotic spirit guardians.
Yeah. I mean, you get TN Stormreaver. Thank you for the follow. You get access to
Oh, no.
Animate Dead. I'm guessing you know this person.
don't worry about it.
Okay. You get
Sorry,
access.
I'm kind of converting people to the way of,
You're like shilling the stream.
That's
yeah.
so funny. So you get access to Animate Dead, which obviously synergizes it really nicely. Like this is funny because you become kind of like a raid boss a little bit. Like you can control undead,
Yeah.
you can force undead to your side. You
Yeah.
can just
Wait.
raise
How
zombies
many-
and they do extra damage. What?
How many skeleton? Because Animate Dead's like their only option, right, for getting undead?
I
How many
think
do they
so,
get
yeah.
from that? How many do they get from it? Like-
Instantaneous creates an undead servant.
One?
You have to recast it every 24
So-
hours, I believe.
You have to recast it every 24 hours, but you get one per spell, it looks like.
The use of the spell research and control over up to 4 creatures you have animated with this spell, rather than animating a new one.
Oh,
So
okay,
with
okay.
a lot of effort over a long period of time, you might get up to 4
Yeah.
Yeah.
shitty little creatures. That's kind of underwhelming, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not amazing.
It's kind of underwhelming.
Hey, they get
but
plus a bunch of damage.
they get plus like you know,
Yes.
if you max
5.
your charisma, they get plus 5 to damage.
They
You
don't
can
have any
like,
plus to accuracy. They're just gonna miss every time.
Yeah, but I mean,
Have faith in your minions.
yeah,
Mm.
it's one of those things where it starts to become a management
Matt's right.
sim instead of an RPG.
Matt
cast
is
at high
right. At
levels
higher
with
level,
Paladin.
you can summon more, but paladins can't really cast at higher levels for a
But
while.
is it? I think it might honestly be worth casting at higher level for this paladin.
At 13th level, you can cast it at 4th level, and then you could animate 3 total zombies.
Or reassert
5?
control over 6.
True.
Oh.
You could start building your army, and they all have like fucking 12 hit points or 20 hit points.
I mean, they're zombies though, so they would have the zombie
I guess so.
fortitude.
And if they
And then-
die, can you bring them back again?
I have to assume so. Also, you can when you activate your 20 level feature, you can give them all shadows so that they're harder to hit slightly.
Oh my god. That I if you're willing to put in a lot of effort for this, and maybe do a little less divine smiting to make sure you can keep your zombies up.
This is like
sure,
the
why not?
world's slowest shepherd druid.
Yeah, like all right, come no zombie, stop, nope, get back here, no, come on.
You become a school teacher.
Micromanaging your zombies.
Dark Master Gandling.
God, what a nightmare this would be to play like that.
Oh, it would
to
be.
micromanage your zombies.
And yet, I feel like there's some sick, twisted people out there who would really enjoy that.
Lol. But that bonus action, that bonus action is pretty good. That's just like a better spiritual weapon, right?
Yeah,
No, I think it's better because am I
I
correct?
said better.
Okay, am I correct in that you can divine smite on a melee spell attack?
I think it has to be a weapon attack.
I think it says melee weapon attack, but
I think even if it's a bow, I think it has to be a weapon attack.
You're probably
Spiritual
right.
Guardians,
Melee weapon attack, yeah.
Spiritual Guardians, I'm pretty sure. I mean, Spiritual Weapon is also a melee spell attack, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. So, damn it. Oh well.
Unfortunate.
But
I
3d10 plus
still think
charisma is pretty good.
Okay, as good as this might be, though, I don't think this is as good as some of the other 20th level ones we've seen, especially because it's not very. You don't get access to fear.
Except for your dreadful aspect.
Yeah, your dreadful aspect. Once.
Yeah, as an action, 30 feet. Yeah, no, I agree. You're probably not gonna manage to actually deal that damage because that will take 2 actions to do 4d10 psychic damage, assuming they failed the save and they're not immune to fear. And it lasts. Yeah, no. So I agree. This is not. Oh God, Contagion.
Contagion has some
Sorry, I
jank
was looking at
uses.
Contagion.
We were just looking at the other night.
Looking at the other day.
Slimy Doom is the crazy one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they nerfed it.
They nerfed it.
They nerfed
So, well, they sage advised it so that the effects of the spell, the effects of the disease only take place after they failed the saves.
I see. Okay, that makes it was kind of broken.
It was pretty busted before, yeah.
Okay, I do think at 15th level, this is a pretty good paladin. Like,
it's a pretty good paladin. I kind of agree. A little
but how
annoying.
good is it from like up to like 9th level? Let's see. Like, what do we think?
I think how much value would you put into just basically doing like let's say 9th level, let's say you have like a plus 2 to 3 charisma bonus, if charisma is your secondary stat.
Let's say 3, and with
Like
this
a
one
3 to
it's
be
more like
generous,
3 or
right?
4 because you'd probably be pretty inclined
You're probably
to buff your charisma.
inclined to buff it. So 3 to 4 damage times like 2 is probably like 6 to 8 damage per turn.
Yeah,
but
you know what's better than that?
yeah.
Just Conquest having spiritual weapon.
I mean, yeah. But also this I feel like this is a hard one to rank because it's like really minion dependent, and anything that's minion dependent is like
I don't
all
think
over the place.
it's very easy for this class to get its minions out, to be honest.
Yeah, if you rate it for minions, that I would consider that actually a niche use because of the difficulty and the requirements.
I also put very little power level in their spells. I think their spells up until 13th level are actually pretty bad.
Yeah, they're pretty meh.
Inflict Wounds is pretty worthless on a paladin.
Yeah, it's terrible.
You might as well just use that spell slot to Divine Smite on your melee attack. It's just directly better. In fact, I think if Inflict Wounds might have 0 applicable uses on a paladin.
I was wondering if Hellish Rebuke is ever worth using versus Divine Smite. I guess it's ranged.
Not really, unless you have no way of burning through your spell slots.
That quickly, yeah.
Which you totally can.
And it's only 2d10 fire damage. It's not even good damage. So, no.
Darkness kind of has niche uses, but you have nothing. You have no way to in this subclass to make use of it. Crown of Madness is not very good because you have to hold your action, basically doing nothing. I believe. Yeah. You must use your action to maintain control of it. And maybe it's just not very good. All this stuff's not very good. It's only till 7th level that I think this class gets okay. Like
and
1 through 6, this is like a terrible paladin.
Yeah, I think you're right. And even at 7th level, all it is charisma to damage, which is good, but
yeah,
in a class that scales off Divine Smites.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, this was one of the first extra paladins they designed. They kind of shoved into the DMG.
Yeah.
I get the distinct impression that this was meant to be something for you to build a boss NPC out of, because
Probably.
then you don't have to deal with all the zombie fiddling. They just exist as mobs because it's a boss fight.
Yeah, it's still hard to. I feel like I'm struggling to rank it a bit just because it's very niche. But like once you do get to 15th level, like this is like it's hard for other paladins to compete with this because they don't have that kind of power level of resistance to not all bludgeoning slash.
Yeah,
slash.
I mean
that's pretty nuts at 15th level.
Yeah, I mean, like even at like challenge rating 23, dragons don't have magical weapons.
Mm-hmm.
We memed about it on the previous one, but yeah, this is at the very least this one's permanent, and you get it 5 levels earlier, and it doesn't take an action, so it is significantly better. Pull up the tier list. I wanna stare at the other paladins.
This is better than Devotion, I think. And,
definitely better than Devotion.
And is it better than Glory? I think it's worse than Heroism for sure.
What was Heroism again?
Heroism was kill people and get the temporary HP for your party.
Since we weight the lower levels heavier because more campaigns are there, then I think it would probably be D tier for me.
I think it's D tier as well.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't really disagree. I think it's really finicky to get the most power out of this class, and I think in general it's not going to be really worth it even to do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Paladin of the Open Sea.
Just real quick, imagine if it was worded differently so that it would all. Wait, no, actually, imagine this would actually work this way. Imagine if you had a necromancer wizard in your party.
Yeah.
Then they would synergize with you.
Oh my god, they would actually.
They would actually be able to swarm out a whole bunch of undead, unlike you, and they would just run up and just be your battle buddies.
Yeah. Also,
that's nice.
The value of this paladin also goes up if your DM is going to let you just play a bunch of undead characters if you're all like skeletons or whatever. Because then your whole party does extra damage.
Wow.
It becomes a real paladin aura.
Play a champion fighter that's a revenant, and then you're an undead, and then you just get +5 to damage.
Be pretty nasty.
Your paladin just goes full support. No, just a full support on Oathbreaker paladin. We should play a total evil campaign where we're not just like morally gray. We're just actively detrimental.
I'm pretty sure we're actively detrimental in the current campaign.
You very well might be.
Like, I'm trying to picture a situation we didn't fuck up, and I think it's been all of them.
Yeah, but some of you are trying to be good.
No, we're not.
Name
Shiv's
one
trying
person.
to be good.
Name one person trying to be good.
Shiv's trying to be good.
Shiv's trying to be good within the context of the devil hierarchy.
Shiv has an interesting morality, but they think they're trying to be good. Gregory doesn't think, so it's hard to like give them ill will.
Gregory's been a meat puppet used to shove daggers into people.
She was trying to be good at being evil is
okay.
Exactly the correct. Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm just an asshole, which is.
I mean, y'all are trying to stop the purge.
Yeah, but it took us a long time to get to that point.
Dilly dallying.
We had a whole conversation about: do we care if everyone dies?
We distinctly performed actions to resume the purge as well.
Smith-John is basically like the personification of like a Kafka character. Like he came into this world as a being of pure bureaucracy, and I suspect that's how he's going to leave it.
God, you're right.
Okay. What the fuck is Paladin of the Open Sea?
Paladin of the Open Sea calls to seafaring warriors, swashbuckling sailors. This is a Matthew Mercer special.
Herald's a good
and traveling guardians who seek the thrill of a limitless horizon.
Matt Mercer's subclasses are always a fun gamble.
Matt Mercer.
Will it be absolute? Will it be one of two like really good ones, or will it be dumpster tier like?
We make our predictions.
Okay, you're making predictions now.
I predict F tier. I'm going bold.
I was gonna say this will be a dumpster tier somehow.
You know what? I'm gonna throw my hat into it being exactly average.
Wow.
So you think it'll be like dead on between like B and C?
That's my out there thought is that's what it will be.
That would be really impressive for Matt Mercer. That's where you want subclasses to be. A D tier. Okay, well, Tyler, what do you think this is gonna be?
F, bottom F.
Yes, join me.
God, I'm almost
three
tempted to
people
change.
voting for F, one person voting for D.
I'm almost tempted
one
to
person-
now, in spite of all of you, say this is the first S tier paladin.
I was
Oh my
tempted
God.
to switch as well.
Watch this just be a god tier class.
God tier paladin. Matt's like, you know what? Fuck it. Auras are lame. I'm gonna give you 8 active abilities. All right, everybody, throw your hats into the ring. Guess exactly what the tier is going to be before we do it. You've got 15 seconds before you start reading.
And no, in the meantime, I mean, I was gonna ask what's the flavor of this one, but the name is Oath of the Open Sea.
They're pirates.
I bet they're noble swashbucklers.
Literally, they are.
Oh, here, wait. No greater life than the life of a life lived free. One should be free to chart their own path without oppression. Those who would exert their power to dominate others shall be smote.
Oh my God, you were right. You were fucking dead on.
Oh
The
man.
noble swashbuckler,
Yep.
pirate.
This is the anti what's it called?
Yeah.
Conquest Paladin.
Okay. All right.
Freedom Paladin.
So your oath spells are create or destroy water. I actually like that
Great.
spell. Expeditious
That's
retreat.
good.
Augury, Misty Step. Call lightning. Oh
lightning.
baby. Freedom of the waves. I've never heard of this spell.
What the fuck is Freedom of the
It's a
Waves?
member.
I bet it's a
spell?
Mercer special.
It's
Yep, it's from Tal'Darai.
Tal'Darai
Oh god, we have to
campaign
actually
setting.
read it then. You conjure a deluge of seawater in a 15-foot radius, 10-foot tall cylinder. Water takes the form of a tidal wave, whirlpool, or water spout, or another form. Each creature in the area must succeed on a strength saving throw against your spell save DC, or take 2d8 bludgeoning damage and fall prone. You can choose a number of creatures equal to your spellcasting modifier to automatically succeed on this saving throw. If you are within the spell's area as part of the action, you use to cast the spell, you can vanish into the deluge and teleport to an unoccupied
Whoa.
space that you can see within the spell's area.
This is a cool spell.
So this is a pretty cool spell. It's potentially a 30-foot teleport.
This is like, well, it's a 15-foot. Oh, you're
Well,
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause
30
there's a
foot.
range on
You're
it. If you're within the spell's area, the farthest you can go
Action.
potentially is 30 feet.
Prone's not bad, and it's friendly fire immune. If you succeed, you take no damage, it seems.
So there's a lot of stuff in this. It's a 3rd level spell, mind you.
Yeah.
The damage is not a lot, but the prone condition is pretty decent, and you can teleport. Would you
You would
spend your
definitely use
action
this.
doing this? Yeah, I think so.
I don't think Matt Mercer got the memo that Paladins aren't supposed to get AoE, because they got Call Lightning and this.
They're not supposed to get AoE, and they're not supposed to get movement, and they have both.
And they got Misty Steps. They got a lot of movement.
Control water, and they get freedom of movement, which is not a spell you should be casting anyway. Commune with nature, freedom of the winds. I'm guessing this is another Matt Misha special.
Expeditious Retreat is also like
You're right.
a bonus action dash, an expensive
see.
bonus action dash.
Freedom of the winds, 5th level spell. Wind wraps around your body, tugging at your hair and clothing as your feet lift off the ground. You gain a flying speed of 60 feet. You have advantage on ability checks to avoid being grappled and on saving throws against being restrained or paralyzed. When you are targeted by a spell or attack while the spell is in effect, you can use a reaction to teleport to up to 60 feet to an unoccupied space. You
Whoa.
can see, holy shit, this paladin zips!
Yeah, but this is 17th level.
Concentration though.
If
But
this
yeah.
movement takes you out of the range of the triggering spell or attack, you are unaffected by it. The spell then ends when you reappear.
Whoa.
Oh, this
Wait,
one
who-
ends when you reappear. Okay.
Who gets the
Oh.
spell? Druids, Rangers, Sorcerers.
Sorcerers.
And
And
Paladins
this
get
Paladin.
This Paladin. Interesting.
You know, actually, I feel like druids and rangers really need a spell like this.
I mean, this is actually a pretty good,
pretty good.
thing to precast.
It's 10 minutes. You gain a flying speed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have advantage on saves to avoid being like locked down in any way. And you can essentially use it as a get out of jail free card for like a big attack. That's pretty nice, actually.
Yeah, on a Paladin, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if you own it, but yeah. Anyway,
But also,
let's
it's a
move
17
on.
level. All right. The following two channel divinity options. As an action, you channel the sea to create a thick cloud of fog that surrounds you 20 feet in all directions. The fog moves with you, remaining centered on you and making its area heavily obscured. You and each creature within 5 feet of you instead treat the area as lightly obscured. This fog lasts for 10 minutes, spreads around corners, cannot be dispersed unless you choose to end this effect. Oh god, we have to look up obscuring rules.
So I'm going off memory here, but I believe heavily obscured means all attacks have disadvantage.
I think so too.
And so I actually think this gives everything disadvantage against you, and you probably have advantage against it, but I can't remember exactly.
Because you can see through it.
Well, except for the
yeah.
Except for the creatures within 5 feet of you.
A heavily
you
obscured
can't-
area blocks vision
you-
entirely. Yeah.
But Tyler's right. If you walk up to 5 feet to hit them, they can suddenly see you again. Your attack won't have advantage.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So you have to be a ranged
yeah.
paladin
Lightly
for this.
obscured, whatever lightly obscured
Yeah,
is.
lightly obscured is just wisdom perception checks, and heavily obscured is. Scroll up a bit. You went past it, I think.
Oh, sorry.
I-
Creatures have disadvantage on the wisdom checks that rely on sight.
Oh god, the delay. Fucking dying.
So
Oh.
a creature suffers from the blinded.
Blinded.
Oh, okay. Actually, no. This is I was gonna say this.
Mhm.
This does, I think, exactly what Sean was thinking.
But
also what Tyler says. Yeah.
But also, yeah, because it becomes lightly obscured, it's actually way worse. It's just good against ranged attacks. Is how I'm reading this.
Yeah.
You can't really use it offensively because unless you have a 10-foot reach weapon, in which case,
Yes.
Ooh.
With a 10. Oh, that's perfect. Use a trident.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. All right. There you go. Yeah. You would.
And ranged paladin. Yeah. No, there's definitely That's actually
definitely ways to
kind
use
of
this.
It's an action, unfortunately, but it lasts 10 minutes. And
10
does it
minutes.
move with you or does
It
it,
moves
stay
with you.
Yeah,
there?
moves with you.
So if you precast this, that can actually be better than Vengeance Paladin because this is advantage on all the enemies.
Yeah. And it also acts.
And you can precast it.
You can use it like
15 for 3,
like
that's
darkness, so you can use it to like block line of sight for casters and for ranged, like any ranged really. That seems pretty good actually.
the only downside, Dan, to your strategy is that they're gonna then take 5 steps forward and be on you. And when you take 5 steps back to get advantage, they get an attack of opportunity, assuming they also don't have reach.
Do they get Do they have normal
Okay.
attack on that, or do they have
Ooh.
disadvantage because you're now?
Oh
So-
no, I don't know.
So that is an interesting question because
Can
if
they
it
see you?
moves, can they see you to make an attack of opportunity?
Oh no.
No.
We don't have to answer that now,
Don't worry
right?
about it. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it. This is,
Probably not.
The potential for this, the potential for this is actually kind of insane. What do you think a paladin would pay to have advantage on all attacks for 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Like that is an SSS tier ability.
All right. The other one is Fury of the Tides. As a bonus action, you channel the powerful might of the waves to bolster your attacks for 1 minute. Once per turn for the duration, when you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can choose to push the target 10 feet away from you. If pushed into an obstacle or another creature, the target takes bludgeoning damage equal to your charisma modifier. That's
No
really
weird.
funny.
Why does Matt love pushing?
He loves
No, he just
pushing.
loves
You know, I
pushing.
love pushing too.
You love Matt. Wow. So far, none of this subclass requires you to be anywhere near water. So, like Armor, you said you wanted to
So
play this on a
funny.
landlocked map. Nothing's stopping you yet.
Nothing is stopping you. In fact, you can create water if you want it. Okay, at
So
7th
far.
level, you fill nearby creatures with the energy of movement while you're not incapacitated. You and creatures of your choice within 10 feet of you cannot be grappled or restrained, and ignore penalties on movement and attacks while underwater. Oh, there you
Oh.
There you go.
go. Creatures that are already grappled or restrained when they enter the aura can spend 5 feet of movement to automatically escape unless they are bound by magical restraints, and then at 18th it becomes 30 feet.
Wait, is this shit? Wait.
Yes.
Uh,
Movement penalties and attacks while underwater.
Like- The only
wait.
the only real thing it does is it
Grapple and
blocks-
restrain.
grapple and restrain, right?
Yeah.
which is
So
very niche.
Very
It-
niche.
Compare this to the charm one. I think the charm one's better.
Yeah, because grapple and restrain while underwater. Right? Yeah.
No, this is grapple and restrain. This still does grapple and restrain.
No, it's
Oh.
ignore grapple and restrain, and then ignore penalties on
Okay.
movement attacks while
Oh,
underwater.
okay. Then,
Okay, so
then
people-
yeah.
So you could just move. You have full movement underwater.
Correct.
Yeah, I do think this is pretty.
This
shit.
is really niche. Like, restrained is obviously a very good condition to avoid, but the amount of times you will encounter it is exceedingly small. Unless you are
Okay.
fighting only wizards who only want to cast web.
The one situation in which this is incredibly useful is if a kraken is attacking your boat.
Well, you know,
I was gonna say there actually are, I think, a good number of creatures that can restrain. Like anything that can
anything
grab
that
you.
can grapple can usually restrain.
Yeah.
And Tyler actually does bring up a good point. They're much
True.
more common in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
True.
restrained is
Your
is actually
entire
not
party
the
will not.
most,
Yeah, your entire
are not the
party will
most
be able to grab it.
uncommon.
But like, yeah, because like, I'm pretty sure that anything that can bite can restrain you. So
Yeah.
like,
No.
most things that can bite, I'm pretty sure T-Rexes
Many
can,
things.
many things,
Big
like,
things that can
I
bite.
think giant crocodiles can restrain you. I think maybe even T-Rexes.
Listen,
I think T-Rexes can.
a house cat can bite you.
Right?
It can't grapple you.
Yeah. Okay. And big things that have bite attacks can usually grapple you or restrain you. Tarrasques and krakens. Really, any catastrophically large monster usually has some kind of restraining mechanic.
You I can see you getting use out of this in a campaign. It will probably not be a lot in that campaign. You'll be glad you have it the one or two times, but that puts it very firmly in niche to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
15th level. You can call on the force of crashing waters as a reaction whenever a creature moves into or out of your. Ooh, wait, this is perfect synergy with your marine layer. The creature takes 1d12 bludgeoning damage and must succeed on a strength saving throw against your spell DC or be knocked prone.
Oh.
No, my God, you're right. You're like, oh, you're approaching me? Bop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And then you could just like keep walking away. You could just keep back up. Like literally that marine layer. Like while you have that marine layer up, you are God Paladin. Almost everything has disadvantage on you, and you have advantage on everything. And now you could approach you to knock him down a little bit, which is kind of funny. I don't think this is very good. I don't think this is like broken on a 15th level boost. I don't even think it's that great.
I don't even think it's good, but it's very funny.
It is funny.
Okay. Let's see. Level 20. As an action, you can embrace the spirits of the sea to gain following benefits for 1 minute. Advantage on strength athletics checks, and you gain a climbing speed equal to your walking speed. If you already have a climbing speed, it's doubled. Lol. If you are within 5 feet of a creature and no other creatures are within 5 feet of you, you have advantage on attack rolls against that creature. Cool. You can take the dash or disengage action as a bonus action, and you have advantage on dexterity checks and dexterity saving throws against effects you can see. Okay.
Is this very good for a 20th level feature?
It is not the strongest.
Um,
It is not fantastic for 20th level.
that advantage on attack rolls thing is pretty meh because you're almost always gonna have advantage if you're playing this paladin. You're gonna abuse that marine layer thing and just always have advantage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And enemies are mostly gonna have disadvantage on you until they approach.
Bonus action disengage actually kind of decent with marine
Kind
layer.
of decent.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Dashing is
true.
really nice. Obviously, always as a paladin.
This, however, is a 20th level capstone that requires an action and lasts for only 1 minute.
Yeah, but you can-
action.
I mean,
Full action.
That's
Marine
pretty
layer,
low.
turn
Marine layer
one.
also casts an action.
Capstone, turn 2.
Marine layer
Turn
is
3
10
fights
minutes.
over.
So you just do it before the fight. But like, oh my god.
Yeah, but you can see it, right?
Marine layer is strong enough to waste an action on in combat easily. This one, I don't even know if it's worth using an action on.
No.
And it's a 20th level feature. The other one's your 3rd level feature.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then again,
God.
it's 20th level, so.
If I had to rate this class as a whole, this entire class, if I just cross out Marine Layer, this is not even C tier. This is a D tier class without Marine Layer. But Marine Layer is fucking nuts.
It's so good.
It is insanely broken. That's better than the Vengeance Paladin Channel Divinity, which is the only reason why people play Vengeance Paladin. Makes it the god tier Paladin multi-class. And Like this is better. You would multi-class this class now.
I think it's a little clunky. I think the action does hurt it. So I don't want to say it's like.
And
I think it's on par and often
you also have
often
to
better, but like not always better than Vengeance. I don't know if you would multi-class this over Vengeance.
So
you also have
I
to
mean,
kind of specifically make a build around it where it really only works well with a reach weapon.
This is
No,
okay, but
or just ranged attacks.
yeah,
You could
but
Eldritch Blast.
True.
this is also
Oh.
my sort of
That's more
general
niche.
thought about this, which is that I think it's more useful than Vengeance because Vengeance you can only use on one target.
True.
This you can use on groups.
Hmm.
This you can use as a way of like disabling an entire group of enemies. You can use it to block line of sight. You know, you can use it to just sort of pick off enemies in the fog. Like I think in general, like yes, they have similar effects, but I feel like this one is better.
I think so too. And Vengeance has 0 defense attached to it. This one has a lot of defense attached to it.
True.
Yeah.
This is hard because we haven't rated Vengeance yet, but that's okay. We don't have to. We can get to that. Pull up the
Also,
tier list.
Vengeance, you have to get up within 10 feet of the creature and then use a bonus action on them.
Mhm.
And once that creature's dead, you have your feature's dead. Your feature's gone.
This one also has good spells.
True.
Yeah.
True. They are good
It does
spells.
have good spells.
Oh, this one.
I don't think the spells are enough to do too much for its rating.
Call Lightning, nice.
I do like it.
Well, okay,
Call
so
Lightning,
Pretty nice.
Call Lightning is like is a big moonbeam.
that's an action though.
It's just that's what I'm saying. It's not
Yeah.
gameplay defining enough to be
do like
that
Misty
great.
Step.
It's no
This is good.
fireball.
Misty Step.
Expeditious retreat is decent. That's dash for a paladin, and paladins really struggle with movement.
True.
Yeah, God.
Sorry,
we
I got some
don't see
flashbacks
this spell. We don't see this spell super often, but I bet if Tyler had access to it, he would use it.
Oh, expeditious retreat would have been wonderful.
Yeah.
It's kind of a tough one. I feel like.
Is
I
it
feel
A
like
or S
ju-
tier?
Okay,
No.
so here's the thing: is
I
that
don't
it's
know.
funny
Yeah,
because like
maybe.
taken as a whole, obviously without Marine Layer, it feels very weak, but at the same time, the Channel Divinity is a solid third of a Paladin's class at level 7.
It's true.
So I don't feel that weird about weighing the class almost purely on Marine Layer.
Yeah.
I mean, literally at 5th level, like you have Marine Layer, you have Misty Step. What more do you want?
Go pull up the tier list again. I want to see what else is in A tier.
Conquest and Ancients.
Compare Marine Layer to Conquest. Conquest is going to be running around and using Spiritual Weapon, which is really strong. But Marine Layer is advantage on everything, and enemies have a hard time hitting you.
So that's the thing, right? Is that I almost feel like it's really comparable. I think Marine Layer alone can put this into A tier.
Yeah.
I would not put this subclass below A tier.
I agree. I'm struggling with whether or not it's S tier right now.
Yeah.
Is it S tier?
I actually think it is S tier.
Because I'm looking at that Conquest and Ancient. I'm like, I think this is better
It's
than
just
both.
it is. It is.
I agree.
Straight
I
up.
agree with the way you're thinking of that. Yeah.
I'm really struggling though. It hurts me. Did it have?
It's amazing how one feature can just just immediately launch something of a tier list.
I mean, to be fair, Paladins have very few features.
It's
Period.
true.
Like your first real feature comes at 15th level. Like, oh god. I would not disagree with that assessment, to be honest. This ability is so giga busted. My
It's
god.
so busted.
It would also completely vindicate Evan, who said that this was
I know. I'm
S tier.
upset.
I think everyone was completely right.
Oh my god.
Oh Matt, you've done it. You launched a class into S tier, buddy. Good job. Woo!
I don't think Matt realized how broken Marine Layer is.
No.
Good job, Matt.
I don't even think Marine Layer is the most. It's very good. It's just that all the other paladins are just kind of shite.
You know how
Paladins.
like everyone puts so much effort into getting their magical darkness warlocks going,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they put so much resources. This just gets that.
Yeah.
Plus, like, imagine just casting this and then keeping all of your keeping 2 fighters strapped to your side.
True.
It
With
is.
bows.
Hold on. It is so much clunkier solely because you have to use reach weapons, so you have to always be out of their reach. Like
It's fine.
I don't
You
want
just back out.
It's doable, but I don't want to make it. I want to make it
No.
clear that like there are conditions.
There-
You might not always be able to meet them, but you can meet them frequently enough that
I
It is
also
worth it.
I also
I-
really
I-
I
I
really
would
don't
happily
think
eat an opportunity attack every single turn to keep this up.
literally okay, I was literally just about to say I really don't care about the opportunity
Yeah.
attack I would be eating.
Eh.
The effect
And
is that
depending on
good.
how we rule this, they might not even be able to make them.
They might
in which
not
case,
get
it's
one,
just
yeah.
in which case there's just no downsides to this for at all, and it's just instant.
the downside is you have to move. But that's
Which is-
that's a
oh,
very
no.
minor
Oh
downside,
no, I
yeah.
have to move 5 feet. What an inconvenience.
Yeah, but you're right. It is a very slight downside.
It's also really funny that this is only broken because reach weapons exist.
It's true. And who was it that said you could just strap two buddies with your
Literally,
next to
yeah,
yourself?
me. It was just
Okay,
that.
With
with
reach
also with reach weapons.
Yeah.
You just go,
They don't
go
e-
in and just be reach squad, and you just
They-
form a little reach squad and just fuck
Yeah, I was
everything up.
gonna say you can just strap 2 fighters with bows next to you and just have them fucking just go
True.
nuts.
You don't even need reach weapons.
there's a lot, like, not only is there is this ability really strong, I think there's a lot of like play with it. I think there's a lot of stuff you can do with it that is
Oh.
fun. I think it's a fun
Imagine
ability.
this. Your entire party just sits directly next to you, and you all just stay like 100 feet away from the enemies and just snipe. And you're a bow paladin. You all have advantage, and
You're all
enemies have
hidden.
advantage. Your entire party is now a magical darkness seeing warlock.
Can you-
Your entire
You've all
party.
got elven accuracy.
Yeah, can you
Yes.
imagine this? This would be so fucking funny. You're all just samurai with elven accuracy and
Oh.
sharpshooter.
This one feature breaks your entire party.
I love the concept of it too, because it's just like, imagine, sir, we're being attacked by what? A cloud. A cloud? A cloud.
There's a million arrows shooting out of it.
I want
I-
that
I-
cloud eliminated. Okay.
Listen, you could call this genius, Evan. I think this was poor design that just was way too broken.
Really, it's a cool ability though. Very
It's cool, but like obviously it's way overtuned.
it's very what's that one character from One Piece that just like is made of smoke? I think his name
Smoker.
is literally Smoker.
His name is Smoker.
All right, Oath of Redemption. It almost feels like we've talked about this already because we've already talked about so many other peace subclasses, but okay, it's a holy warrior, blah 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 blah. Paladins face evil creatures in the hope of turning them to the light, and they slay only when such a deed will clearly save other lives. Okay, cool. Let's talk about it.
This is Peace Paladin.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Sanctuary and Sleep. Sleep is actually a really good spell.
It is at early levels.
At early levels, this spell is actually kind of nuts. It's really, really comparable to Hypnotic Pattern. Calm emotions, hold person, counterspell, Hypnotic Pattern. Hey,
Wow.
well,
And counters. Oh wait.
Odin looks
hold
resilient.
person-
Sphere, stone skin, hold monster, wall of force. Oh my god!
Even sanctuary. Like this is nuts for a spell list.
Mm-hmm. They're all concentration.
Except for Sanctuary.
Yeah, sanctuary.
Concentration.
And
Yeah,
spell.
that's actually a really good point. Concentration spells on a paladin that's kind of a big oof.
No, but this is not. You
Like,
can't think of
they're
it
good
quite that way.
spells.
Oh, Sleep
Yeah.
is not a
No,
concentration spell.
But Tyler, I wouldn't
I
look at
know.
it quite that way because the Redemption Paladin is not your standard Paladin. In fact, I would argue they're most often going to be in the backline like a cleric.
Oh, okay.
We shall
enough.
see.
Also just consider that, like, you know, we're obviously saying that, like, it is rough for a paladin to have to make concentration checks at all, but also paladins get a free bonus to all saving throws equal to their charisma modifier.
True.
So imagine, for instance, if you're playing
believe I
this
forgot
and
about
you
that.
have access to a lot of really good spells, and what you decided to do was, instead of anything else, all you did was maximize Constitution and charisma, like at
You would need
any
to take,
level,
like,
that's plus
30
10 without
damage.
proficiency.
You would need to take 30 damage for it to even have a chance to lose concentration.
I forgot all about that. That changes
I
the
forgot about
haste
that
gauge
too.
a little.
And that spiritual guardians earlier.
It's like a non-issue.
It's totally a non-issue.
Like
yeah.
it's sincerely, really a not an issue. But anyway,
Just resilient con is all you need.
yeah, resilient
set.
con really just pushes you over the edge.
Mhm.
So, when you take this oath at 3rd level, you gain the following 2 channel divinity options. Emissary of Peace. You use your channel divinity to augment your presence with divine power. As a bonus action, you grant yourself a +5 bonus to charisma persuasion checks for the next 10 minutes. I mean, it's cool that we got a not combat one, I guess.
It makes sense because of the other thing, I believe.
And Rebuke the Violent. Immediately after an attacker within 30 feet of you deals damage with an attack against a creature other than you, you can use your reaction to force the attacker to make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the attacker takes radiant damage equal to the damage it just dealt, and on a successful save, it takes half as much damage.
Oh, I wish you could use this more than once.
I wish you could use this more than once, but it does mean you can just choose the chonkiest hit and go, no, you.
So it's effectively a heal plus a burst, right? Or no, it doesn't.
No,
it
it's
doesn't
just
negate
the burst.
initial damage. Damn it!
It's just a spike.
It doesn't negate the initial damage. Okay.
The with an attack line hurts this a good bit in my mind.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Most of the strongest things in the game are not attacks, which
'Cause
is
you'll get hit
unfortunate.
Like for 25 at most or something at high level.
Yeah.
Most enemies just attack a lot. They don't attack big.
Agreed. Yeah. So but I mean, listen, funny.
It is extremely funny.
I don't hate it.
Okay, at 7th
fine.
level, you can shield allies from harm at the cost of your own health. When a creature within 10 feet of you takes damage, you can use your reaction to magically take that damage instead of the creature taking it. This feature doesn't transfer any other effects that might accompany the damage, and this damage can't be reduced in any way. I mean, you can
We've seen this before.
We've seen this before, but you can actually synergize that with Rebuke the Violent, and you can just take the damage.
Well,
Wait.
this is the cop aura.
No. They both eat reactions, don't they?
Oh, do they?
Yes, you're right. They
Oh,
both-
you're right. Yeah, never mind then. Okay.
Both reactions.
At 15th, a holy presence mends your wounds in combat. You regain hit points equal to 1d6 plus half your paladin level if you end your turn in combat with fewer than half your hit points remaining and you aren't incapacitated.
Okay. I
okay.
guess.
This is like
It's kind of niche. Healing
kind
is
of niche.
niche.
This is kind of like that the champion ability that lets
Are you going to
do-
be tanking enough for this to come into play?
You're going to be
I mean,
eating
you
all that
could.
aura of the guardian damage.
Yeah.
Oh, but you have to be
I guess so.
you have to be in melee to do that. Oh, it's hard.
Oh.
It could come into play, but like the it's not going to heal that much over because you have to get to lower than half hit
Yeah,
points.
so at 15th
And then you get
level,
this
that's like
once
10
per turn.
healing
Yeah.
per turn.
It's 10, yeah. And
That's
it
15
and it only starts
not
once you're at
a lot,
half, and I
yeah.
hate those kinds of heals.
Yeah, agreed. So this is honestly, I'm now realizing these are more just like out of combat heals where they just get you to half hit
Oh,
points.
you're right. It'll get you
Yes.
exactly to half. That's funny. I never considered that, but you're
Yeah, me neither.
correct. That's actually really
20th
funny.
level.
Imagine just like every time you do a combat, you wait a little bit before you take your short rest so you can be at max a half hit points.
The last 20th level. This you become a tank.
Okay,
You become an
let's
avatar of
see.
peace, which gives you the following benefits. You have resistance to all damage dealt by other creatures, their attack spells and other effects. Whenever a creature damages you, it takes radiant damage equal to half the amount it dealt to you, which is going to be half, right? Because
Oh, true.
So it's not that much, but you're doing a whole bunch of thorns damage to everyone, basically.
And if you
Like spike, and then
yeah.
if you attack a creature, cast a spell on it, or deal damage to it by any means but this feature, neither benefit work against that creature. It's lethal.
So that seems pretty bad, but actually, what's interesting is that the redemption paladin has access to some tools that lets you sort of bypass this because trapping somebody in a wall of force is not casting a spell on them.
Yeah, but if you trap someone in a wall of force, you don't care if that feature's gone against that creature. They're gone.
I mean, yeah, but
So that doesn't matter.
Oh, I just noticed it was that creature. You're right. So you could even use Odaluke's Resilient Fear, and if it but that one has a save attached.
Yeah.
If you cast a spell on it and they succeed the save, then the feature's dead. So Wall of Force is a bit safer in that regard.
But that being
Yeah.
said, though, I guess it kind of cuts the other way though, because that means that if you cast a spell like a disabling spell on somebody, you don't really care about them being whatever anyway.
Okay.
It's just fine to have them be disabled.
Here's my question though, because at 20th level, obviously you're the strongest thing you can do now is be this avatar piece, and you Wall of Force some important targets off. What do you do for the next 2 turns of combat?
Aura of the Guardian, your allies, and lay on hands
You take
yourself
the
with
help
your action.
Yeah.
Okay,
you can aura the Guardian 1 attack per turn, and you resist it. You'll
all
save
right, Dan.
like
Here's
12
my
HP.
plan. All you do is you lock yourself in a wall of force with the boss, and you just hug him every turn.
God.
Be at peace, my child.
Why wouldn't you just lock him alone?
Be at peace, my child. Ow.
Because he'll beat you up and you'll be dealing damage back
You'll
to
be
him.
dealing
God.
damage. All the while, you can wax philosophical. You know, in another life, I believe we could have been friends. It is
And you'll
not
just
too
keep
late
killing
to turn
yourself.
back from your evil ways.
Come now.
This is the
join
Jesus
us
Paladin.
in sweet salvation.
Well, this can be different. Ow. Please. Ow.
I know you.
This
didn't
is
mean
hurting
that.
you
Oh.
more than it's hurting me. Ow.
Stop that. Ow.
Oh, I want to play this Paladin
See,
now.
okay. That
You
being
got
said,
to
though,
wait so
this
long
this
for that.
doesn't
I know.
have this feature doesn't have the what is it called the attack clause. So if a dragon breathes on you, you can turn it back and say no, you.
I know.
No, you.
You may be hurting me in body, but
I mean,
you
to
are
be
hurting
fair-
yourself in spirit.
Even if someone like fucking meteor swarms you for like what is it 72 damage, you're gonna half it to 36, and then they're gonna take 18.
or you succeed on the save and that gets halved again.
So they take
It's
9.
gonna be
You
so-
take 9.
From
This
their
is
own meteor
literally.
swarm. It's
Do you know
such
what this
piddling
is?
damage.
I don't think it's about the damage at this point at all. I think you're literally
Psychological.
going like Doctor Strange, just like Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
Because if a guy melees you for 10 damage, they take 2.
Well, this is
Well,
20th level
you
ability.
take
They'll melee you for like
5.
20 to 30 is what we've been taking even before then.
Sure. If they
So-
melee you for 30, they take 7.
No,
Well,
they take 15. Oh, no, you're right. They take 7. Okay.
If they
yeah.
melee you for 30, though, you take 15.
True.
Yes, and then they take 7. So great.
Okay, this maybe you're right. Maybe this isn't. I mean, resistance to all damage constantly is just.
They're just gonna ignore
It's
you.
always good, but also
But if
like,
You want them to. You're a support class.
You get resistance to all damage
Yeah.
until you hit them.
Well, this
I mean,
okay.
What do
No,
you
this-
do to support while you're concentrating on Wall of Force?
that is
my
a
Yeah.
good question. That would be my question for sure.
I think.
Like, let me look at the
valid-
spell list because your heals are. You have Cure Wounds. That's it. You have Prayer of Healing, which takes 10 minutes. Can't do that. Everything else is constant. All the other heals are concentration. So, are you just gonna run around and fucking cure wounds everyone at 10th level, 20th level?
You
That's so
you-
ass.
You make a compelling point there, and like the funniest thing is that the way you want to play this paladin as support, you basically give up every other paladin ability
Do you want to know what?
besides the
Well,
passive auras.
Do you know what the
I think
problem is?
Oh,
realistically,
lay on hands exists.
See, the problem is that like you get a really good spell list, but it kind of reveals that Dungeons and Dragons doesn't actually have that many support spells. I don't know if you've noticed as a cleric, but I really don't have that many actual support
Well,
spells.
Okay. Realistically, what this paladin will do, if they want it to be optimal, this will probably go against the peace role playing is you get 20th level, you Wall of Force some shit, then you go off and you just beat up, you just pull out your sword and start killing one monster at a time.
Yes, I was about
Yeah,
to
that
suggest
sounds about right.
That's not terrible, and
It's
you still
good,
get
yeah.
yeah.
I
And
mean,
you'll divine
just-
smite and you'll just burst one guy and then move on to the next one.
Like the thing is,
It's
that,
kinda how
like,
you play anyways.
There's a lot of
True.
there's a lot of stuff you can do even before you have Wall of Force. You can cast Hypnotic Pattern at 9th level.
very strong for a paladin. That
Yeah.
paladins
Super
do not
strong.
get hypnotic pattern like at all. That's such a high level spell or high power level spell.
Yeah,
Counter
Be like
spell
giving
is kind of nuts.
it's be like giving a paladin polymorph.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, it's very important that this only
it's
goes
certainly-
against.
It's certainly one of the more interesting classes.
Okay, I do think though, if you play this like a meleeer, like I'm still gonna run around and divine smite people like bitches and fuck them up. This is a very strong paladin. Like these features don't detract from your ability to do that. You just have your hypnotic pattern on the side. Although it does take a little bit for you to become useful, because I think until 9th level, you're pretty weak.
Well, that was my question: is early levels? How does this feel?
Kind of not the best.
Rebuke the Violent is okay, but not amazing.
You do a little bit of damage once.
Yeah. Aura of the Guardian is okay. Tanking is neat, I guess.
I think it's fine. It's just not high powerful.
Yeah.
I think Hold Person and Sleep and Sanctuary, they will hold you over until your 9th level. They're all right.
Yeah.
I think you're just a little bit of a below average paladin until 9th level, and then at 9th level, I think you actually get quite strong.
Just from the hypnotic pattern?
Yes.
Yeah, but
Hypnotic pattern is really good, Tyler.
Yeah, but like, what if you have a caster already that already does have hypnotic?
Then you
pattern?
can have 2 hypnotic
Then you got
patterns.
2.
Like what's the problem there?
2 is better than 1.
Yeah, but I'm saying
I
this as
know
someone.
it's a support spell. It's hard to understand.
So on my rogue right now, I have hypnotic pattern. I've never needed to use it because Monica just uses it, and then we just finish them all off.
When's the last swarm battle you've had? I don't think you had hypnotic pattern on the last
We
swarm battle.
haven't.
I did on the last one, not the one before that. I think I've.
When was the last swarm
Maybe 2.
battle we had?
Yanagu.
Yeah, I
That's
think
a
I had
while
it
ago.
for that.
I don't think we were.
And you
13th
didn't
level.
use it?
I can't remember. I just remember having it and being like, Monica's already used it.
Even if another caster has hypnotic pattern, that doesn't necessarily mean that they want to cast it. If you could cast it instead of them, particularly as this paladin, because you're pretty well equipped for saving throws and playing support, you might be the better thing, and they could cast something better.
And they can cast a 5th level spell.
Yeah, I do not see a problem with having access to having 2 members of your party you can cast an extremely powerful spell.
But to be fair, yeah, this isn't like subclass breaking. You have hypnotic pattern.
No, but it is a very solid spell list. I would say, just taking the spell list into account, I think that this is probably what like an S tier spell list would look like.
Probably. It might be missing a little bit of the other stuff. I'm thinking right now, overall, this feels like a B class to me.
Yeah,
that's
what
kind of where I was
say.
too.
Sounds good.
What about you, Tyler? What do you think?
Yeah, probably B, C, somewhere on there. B
I don't
works.
think it's a C
Yeah.
class.
I think we're majority B here. So
I would have done C if not for the small spike at like hypnotic pattern counterspell. Very good spell to have as well.
Yeah.
And that's one where you like to have multiple, so I don't hate having that.
Yeah,
So
you want as many counter spells as possible. Trust me. Ask me how I know.
Oh my. Good thing counterspell doesn't exist in my campaign.
Yeah, delicious.
You're lucky we didn't take it, Dan.
Excuse me. The guidance and guidance and counterspell are not on the anyone spell shit.
Well, it's a good thing Mads can cast any spell.
No. It doesn't exist.
Okay,
In fact,
all right.
that time you saw Steven's character cast counterspell was a fluke. It no longer exists.
That was the last counterspell.
That was the last counterspell. Steven counterspelled the spell out of existence.
That's funny. So the Oath of Treachery. No, Steven took all the counter spells with him when he left the campaign. Like
Yes,
Jesus
exactly.
Christ, taking all of the sins upon himself.
What a hero.
The Oath of Treachery is the path followed by paladins who have forsworn other oaths or who care only for their own power and survival. Commonly known as blackguards, these profane warriors are faithful only to themselves. A paladin who embraces the Oath of Treachery owes allegiance to no one. There are no tenets of this oath, for it lacks any substance, etc., etc. Many of these paladins pay homage to demon lords, etc., etc. Okay.
Interesting.
Spells. You get Charm Person, Expeditious Retreat, Invisibility, Mirror Image, Gaseous Form, Haste, Confusion, Greater Invisibility, Dominate Person, Pass Wall.
I think Tyler has shown us very well that mirror image is quite strong, and it scales into the late game.
Mirror image on a melee character, yeah, is fantastic.
So yeah, I think it's annoying. I don't like how it's designed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can agree with
clunky.
that. So clunky.
it is really clunky.
I'm back. Which one has terrible design?
Mirror image, but you can agree that it's strong and it scales into the late game. And
Oh, yeah.
On a melee character.
Okay,
great.
Channel Divinity. You can conjure duplicate as an action. You create a visual illusion of yourself that lasts for 1 minute or until you lose your concentration, as if you were concentrating on a spell. Does that mean you can't concentrate on a spell? I think it means you can do both, right?
No.
No.
Well,
If it says as if
you
you're
lose
if it says as if you're concentrating, then it eats your concentration.
it must, right?
Yeah.
The illusion appears in an unoccupied space. It doesn't matter. Paladins don't get concentration spells. You can see within 30 feet of you, the illusion looks exactly like you. It is silent, it is your size, it is insubstantial, it does not occupy its space, and it is unaffected by attacks and damage. As a bonus action on your turn, you can move the illusion up to 30 feet to a space you can see, but the illusion must remain within 120 feet of you. For the duration, you can cast spells as though you were in the illusion space, but you must use your own senses. Additionally, when both you and your illusion are within 5 feet of a creature that can see the illusion, you have advantage on attack rolls against that creature, given how uncanny the illusion is. This is that cleric ability, but on an actual melee character.
Ooh,
Yeah, and actually good.
That is good.
Poison Strike, you can use your Channel Divinity to make a weapon deadlier. As a bonus action, you touch one weapon or piece of ammunition and conjure a special poison on it. The poison lasts for 1 minute. The next time you hit a creature, you hit a target with an attack using that weapon or ammunition, the target takes poison damage immediately after the attack. The poison damage equals 2d10 plus your paladin level, or 20 plus your paladin level if you had advantage on the attack roll.
God, I was so annoyed because I remember this treachery has 2 good channel divinities, and no one gets 2 good channel divinities. And it's like, which one do you do? Because they're both fun.
Lol. I think Poison Strike is like
Good early game.
it is good early game. It does technically scale. It's just a shame that it's one hit.
This is very straightforward to me. One of these is an action, one of these is a bonus action.
You know what? You're right.
You choose entirely depending on fight length and whether or not you have a good chance to conjure duplicate. And if you don't, you just poison strike away.
True.
Yeah.
The fact that
I like how
the illusion only lasts a minute means it's difficult to precast it. If you can precast it, that's just great. You're gonna get advantage on almost all your attacks from now on.
All right.
If you can do it.
This is my favorite one because Treachery Paladins at 7th level get Cull the Herd because you emanate an aura of discord. You have advantage on melee attack rolls against any creature that has one or more of its allies within 5 feet of it. And Treacherous Strike. If a creature within 5 feet of you misses you with a melee attack, you can use your reaction to force the attacker to reroll that attack against a creature of your choice that is also within 5 feet of the attacker. The ability fails and is wasted if the attacker is immune to being charmed. You can use this ability 3 times and regain expended uses when you finish a short or long rest.
Nice.
I like this because it encourages you to fight in groups, like 1v8, and that's always hilarious.
Cull the Horde is kind of nuts.
Yeah.
It's super good, yeah.
Also, that applies to your allies, doesn't it? Right? No. It doesn't. It says an aura, but it's lying. It's not actually an aura.
It's not actually.
You're right.
You fuck.
I love that. Listen, you gotta have an aura at 7th level, so they just called it an aura.
There's a
Not an
reason.
aura.
There's obviously a reason this was never printed.
Yeah. Josh, you played this once.
I did play this. Yeah, it was great.
You played a paladin called Shank, which now that I think about it, it's very funny.
Okay, most Shiv, Shank, most enemies will have an ally next to them. If you're fighting with one enemy, it happens, which is rough. But if you can consistently get advantage on everything, you might as well just use your poison strike.
Yeah.
This is a super easy way of getting advantage because it's really common. And then as a result, you get to add 20 plus your paladin level, which is at this level 7th level. So 27 extra damage on an attack you have advantage on. Like,
good.
Very, very compelling.
And it's next time you hit. It's not like it's a risk.
Yeah.
If you miss
yeah,
your poison strike, it just hits the next one.
I mean, if you, I mean, if I think if you use this on a piece of ammunition, which I don't think you should do, I think you can miss with it.
Lol.
Why would you ever use this on a piece of ammunition?
Well, I guess roll a certain like assassination from long range or something. I don't know.
I guess so.
So imagine
Is
that
it
you're like, oh, great demon lord, grant me the poisonous strike, and then you just fucking miss the arrow. You're like, shit, I'll come back in 24 hours.
I don't know if he noticed. Maybe if I go over there and pick the arrow up again, come back.
Okay. At 15th level, you have the ability to slip away from your foes. Immediately after you are hit by an attack, you can use your reaction to turn invisible and teleport up to 60 feet to a spot you can see. You remain invisible until the end of your next turn or until you attack, deal damage, or force a creature to make a saving throw. Once you use this feature, you must finish a short or long rest before you can use it again.
Wait, how the fuck do you kill this paladin?
You don't, because the 20th level ability is as an action, you become an avatar of deceit, gaining the following benefits for 1 minute. You are invisible.
My god.
If a creature damages you on its turn, it must succeed on a wisdom saving throw, DC equal to your spell save DC, or you control its next action, provided that you aren't incapacitated when it takes the action. The creature automatically succeeds on the save if the creature is immune to being charged.
It's just so broken.
If you have advantage on an attack roll, you gain a bonus to its damage roll equal to your paladin level. Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay, imagine this. For 20th level, first round of combat, you activate this, you activate your poison strike, you just fucking shank somebody for 47 extra damage? No,
and then you divine smite.
No.
It's 60 extra damage.
Level. So it'd be 60 plus
20
your
plus
divine
20 plus
smite.
20. Yeah, holy fuck. Plus your divine smite. Oh my god.
Oh, that's absurd.
It's so fucking broken.
Disgusting.
And you're just invisible. And you're just, I like how, okay. Your duplicate can give you easy advantage. Your 7th level feature, easy advantage. Your Black Art's Escape, easy advantage. Your 20th level feature, easy advantage. You know how hard other subclasses have to work to get advantage?
Not only that, it's advantage, and then the bonus for having that advantage is that you do 20 extra damage per hit.
Well, 20 minus 2d10.
For poison strike, but not for Icon of Deceit.
No, for Icon of Deceit.
Not for Icon of,
So it's 20 damage. So you get an effective, and because you have advantage, you're really not going to be missing. So that's 40 damage per turn.
But
also, what the fuck is you control its next turn?
I know. Like,
Or
this is not just the offensive. This is defensive because you're invisible. They all have disadvantage against
Is this
you.
a Mary Sue?
And if they actually hit you, what?
No.
if they actually hit you, then all of a sudden you control the next action. I assume that means that you get to order them to go. You probably make them. It's an oath of treachery. You make them attack their ally, right?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
I feel like this thing could solo so much. Imagine this character versus like a pit fiend. The pit fiend's got 4 or 5 big attacks, and it's just okay. My turn. He runs up and he hits you once, and you teleport away and become visible. Just think about it at 15th level. You're not even 20th level because then they're obviously way too broken. And then you fuck him up a bit. You hit him a whole bunch for a fuck ton of damage, and then he's like, all right, this time I run up, and then he hits you once, and then you're gone. He can only attack once per turn on you.
No. You can only do that.
You can only do it once per short rest.
Oh, okay. But it's still like.
But still, this is so good.
20th level though. Oh my god.
20. God, can you imagine if you just if somebody damages you and you're like, no, I don't think so, and you use your shadow powers to make you take control of it. It's like you control its next action. If it's something like a caster, which I mean is not likely because it's a wisdom save, but just imagine you're like, ah, yes, Archmage. I think I will have you cast the wish spell for me.
So I think up until 7th level, the open sea one is better. At 7th level, they're tied approximately, maybe. And then once you get to like 15th level and 20th level, this one's better.
This one
at 20th level. This is probably the best paladin period.
Yeah.
God, yeah, I would still put this in the same S tier because at 3rd level through 6th level, the other one's better.
Yeah, God, easy S tier.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, John?
So
I'm okay with S tier for this. Yeah.
This is
Go
so
on.
fucking nasty. Okay. All right. Oath of Vengeance. Finally.
Oh shit!
Solemn
I don't know
covenant to
if
punish those
Avengers
who
are
have
gonna be
committed a
an S
grievous
tier.
sin. All right, Dan.
Yeah.
Read.
You want me to say it? All right. Well, vengeance. Blood. You get oath spells, Bane, Hunter's Mark. See,
Those
whole
aren't
person.
those
Misty
bad?
Step. Bane's bad. Hunter's Mark is not really worth using,
Isn't it a
but
bonus
not
action though?
It's a bonus action, but your first turn you want to use Vow of Enmity. Oh, I guess maybe your first turn might be sprinting at the enemy with dash, and the bonus action
True,
hunting
very
Hunter's
true.
Mark. Your second turn would be Vow of Enmitying, and then attacking. I can't read it right now. Sorry. Okay, hold person's good. Misty Step's great. Haste is complicated. Protection of energy. Banishment you already get. Dimension Door. I don't think you get
Dimension
that.
Door's
That's
really
pretty good.
Hmm.
That's actually has a lot of niche uses. Hold
yeah.
monster. Scrying.
I love-
niche.
Just as an aside, I love Dimension Door.
Yeah, like Mad says.
Dimension Door is such a funny spell because it's like it's one of those spells that doesn't require you to see anything. You just kind of approximate. You're like, okay, 15 feet that way.
I know. Oh, it's so good.
So let's start, and then we'll do the channel divinities. We'll start with the weird one. Abjure enemy. As an action, you present your holy symbol and speak a prayer of denunciation using your channel divinity. Choose one creature within 60 feet of you that you can see. That creature must make a wisdom saving throw unless it is immune to being frightened. Fiends and the undead have disadvantage on the saving throw. On a failed save, the creature is frightened for 1 minute or it takes any damage. While frightened, the creature's speed is 0. It can't benefit from any bonus to its speed. On a successful save, the creature's speed is half for 1 minute. Or until the creature takes any damage.
Nice that
This is kind of ass. It's one creature. And
Yeah.
you would never use this because the other channel divinity is Vow of
Way
Enmity.
better.
And you only get to pick one. And that one is, as a bonus action, you can utter a Vow of Enmity against one creature you really fucking don't like. And you can see within 10 feet of you. Using your channel divinity, you gain advantage on attack rolls against the creature for 1 minute or until it drops to 0 hit points or falls unconscious. So
Wow.
very simple. Choose one creature, easy advantage.
Bonus action. That's nice.
It looks like it's really difficult advantage compared to what we just saw, though.
Wow, Oath of Vengeance has to work so hard.
I feel like Abjure enemy merits a long conversation, doesn't it?
No.
Oh,
No.
Relentless Avenger. I mean, like,
go for it.
honestly, I just want to move on because it's advantage, and we
Yeah.
just had a 20-minute conversation about advantage. That
Yeah,
7th
we
level,
know
your
it's good.
supernatural focus helps you close off a foe's retreat. When you hit a creature with an opportunity attack, you can move up to half your speed immediately after the attack as part of the same reaction. This movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks.
It's pretty funny.
I really like this one. I think it's pretty niche, though. It's less niche. I was thinking to myself, I was like, how often does
Yeah.
something run away that you've already valid
Yeah.
enmitied? Or I guess you don't have to valid enmity, but you will have. How
probably
often does
will,
it try to run and you want to pursue? It's happened a few times. It's not that niche, but
Okay, no, but this is the thing is that it doesn't say you have to run after it.
Yeah,
can move anywhere you want.
direction.
true. But then again,
True.
this is literally only movement. So actually, this is pretty. eh.
Like if they
I
teleport
can
away, if they
only
miss a
hit-
step away, you can't do it.
Yeah.
This is nichely okay. But I put this on the same power level as something like as your aura of no restraint, no grab.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not that
yeah,
strong,
agreed.
for sure.
I think you'll use it more. I think you'll get equivalent value less.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Soul of Vengeance at 15th level. The authority with which you speak your vow of enmity gives you greater power over your foe. When a creature under the effect of your vow of enmity makes an attack, you can use a reaction to make a melee weapon attack against that creature if it isn't within range. That's great. That's perfect. That's exactly what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
This character is literally designed. I want to hit one creature really good, and this
Really
is
good.
Which
you will
you
hit
love
that
to
one
see.
creature 50% more often, probably.
That is basically all you want out of a paladin, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
You're there to look pretty, give a bonus to saving throws, and dump all of your divine smites.
Yep. And at 20th level, you can assume the form of an angelic avenger. Using your action, you undergo a transformation. For 1 hour, that's good. You gain the following benefits. Wings sprout from your back and grant you a flying speed of 60 feet. That's pretty fast. You emanate an aura of menace in a 30-foot radius the first time any creature enters the aura or starts its turn there during a battle. The creature must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or become frightened of you for 1 minute or until it takes any damage. Attack rolls against the frightened creature at advantage. Once you use this feature, you can't use it. Long rest. Interesting that they use the terminology during a battle.
During a battle, yeah.
Old subclass.
Very, very old.
I think this is
base.
pretty weak of a 20th level feature compared to what we've seen.
Compared to some of the other ones,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, even the ancient ones at 20th level was
Yeah.
very strong.
The ancient one was pretty darn good.
And that's
Yeah.
that's another base paladin class. So this one just kind of like eats it.
I do like flying speed. That's sort of my one caveat. I think flying
Yeah,
speed is potentially
flying
I
very
don't
speed is
think it's
good,
worth at 20th level,
but
though.
yeah.
Yeah.
You probably have other ways of going speedy. And if not, well, it's called dash.
What was the devotion 20th level one again?
Oh god, devotion.
Was it anything significant? Was
Holy Nimbus, 10 radiant damage, and then advantage on saves against spells cast by fiends. That was it.
oh
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That was
the ancient one definitely wins in the 20th level.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
They kind of copied ancients for a lot of them, like just like a little bit of being a beast.
Little bit of
All right, we'll
everything,
just do that.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
the
What do you
blueprint.
think about this?
Oath of Vengeance was what Gus was, I think.
Yes, correct.
Probably,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was.
I
Yeah,
get the.
I remember that. Yeah.
I know it was just, yeah.
I mean, I feel like this is.
Rest in peace.
I feel like this is a this is good. Like I feel like if I was going to look at any of the like normal paladins, because the two that we have are an Honor Takana and a Matt Mercer special. If we look at any of the other ones, I would say that this is easily on par with the A tiers.
I agree. I do not think it's an S tier, but I do think it is a.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
sort of that was my assessment. God damn it.
Yeah, that sounds
Why
like
are we
Oh,
so
we're
in
so in
sync this time?
It's
Well-
you know what? It's always certain martial classes that like we just like we got it.
I mean, I feel like we didn't have any that were too super controversial, which means everything seems to fit in place like well, like with a puzzle.
Do you know what? Do you know what I think it is? I think it's that paladins actually just aren't that complicated.
No, they really aren't.
They have
there's
they
not
have pretty
a
limited
lot.
spell lists. Like a lot of their power comes from their base class. You get Channel Divinity, which is like a thing that you can do once per short rest, and then an aura, and that's a passive effect. And then like these two abilities are so late that they almost don't matter.
Yep.
The biggest surprise to me was Crown. I was pretty sure Crown was bad. It turned out to be pretty
It should
decent.
be okay, yeah. I guess
Yeah.
we've matured. We've learned more about the
Yeah.
game, you know?
Right now, it is our exactly average one. We have 11 of them ranked, and it is they're
I
they're
can't
like
wait.
5
Devotion
below,
was
5
just
above it.
so bad. It's so funny to me. Okay, Oath of the Watchers. This is from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. The Oath of the Watchers binds paladins to protect mortal realm from the predations of extraplanar creatures, many of which can lay waste to mortal soldiers. Okay, cool. So, all right. Watcher paladins get alarm, detect magic, moonbeam, see invisibility, counterspell non-detection, aura of purity, which pretty sure paladins already get, and banishment, which paladins already get, hold monster, and scrying. At third level, you get the 2 channel divinity options. You as an action, you can choose a number of creatures you can see within 30 feet of you, up to a number equal to your charisma modifier, a minimum of 1 creature. For 1 minute, you and the chosen creatures have advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws. Okay.
Wait,
That seems pretty good, actually.
so basically just wisdom saving throws.
Yes, basically. just
Charisma
wisdom.
matters occasionally.
If you're, avoiding being
And intelligence
banished.
matters once.
Once, yeah.
Once.
Maybe,
but that
maybe.
one time it matters. It really matters. And then abjure the extraplanar. You can use your channel divinity to castigate unworldly beings. As an action, you present your holy symbol, and they, let's see, each aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, or fiend within 30 feet of you must make a wisdom saving throw. And a failed save, the creature is turned for 1 minute. So this is just,
Or until it takes damage.
yeah. So this is just better than a lot of the other abjures because
No, I'm pretty sure those did not break on damage. The ones that were just 2 targets.
Oh, was it?
No, they did. I double
Pretty
checked.
sure they did. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Because I went back and checked the Ancients
'Cause
one because I thought it didn't, and it did.
This is
I'm gonna go
literally
double check again,
literally the same feature, except it includes more enemy types.
Does it have undead?
No, it does not have undead.
But like compared to Ancients is just Fey and Fiend. This one's Celestial, Elemental, Fey and Fiend. What
And
there's gotta be a
aberrations.
difference, right?
Aberrations are pretty common.
Oh, and aberrations. Okay. Is this the same as Ancients for sure?
Pretty sure. Let's see.
It takes a while to load these pages. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
fucking Wikidot is the worst.
This is why I just keep them open.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet of you. Can't take reactions. For its action, you can only use the dash action. Let's see.
Oh, that
Okay,
one has the
so
illusion thing.
these ones can still use reactions. I think that's the difference.
Great.
Okay, so it is better then.
Yeah.
Who cares?
pretty
Who
much.
cares?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Oh god. At 7th level, you emit an aura of alertness while you aren't incapacitated. When you and any creatures of your choice within 10 feet of you roll initiative, you all gain a bonus to initiative equal to your proficiency bonus. Okay. So like
That's pretty minor.
it's good
not
because
bad.
it's not bad because you do want good initiative, but it's just a little bit lackluster, it feels like. It's not that exciting.
A little boring.
I value initiative a lot.
You value it more than anyone.
I absolutely do, and I probably overvalue it. I really value initiative. Do you want to know what's so awkward about this?
You have to stand next to
You
each
have to
other.
stand next to them when you roll initiative.
You can't spread out, yeah.
Yeah, you have to be there when you roll initiative, and like that marks the beginning of the fight. Like you don't always choose when you start where you start and when initiative is rolled. You don't
this
always
is
get
just-
this on your allies.
It's just super weird and clunky.
So
Like what a weird ability to put in like Tasha's, like one of the latest books to come out.
Especially because if you wanted the position, like, all right, everyone, you guys flank them, we'll come in front.
Yeah.
Do you ask the DM, can we roll initiative now and then start moving? Are we allowed to do?
Yeah, it seems
Oh
weird.
yeah.
Aura initiative is a very clunky mechanic, and I don't really respect it. But
Well,
I do think it's good, like straight up.
Yeah. Let's look at it mechanically, and I agree.
I mean, mechanically, this is good because you are always going to roll initiative.
The greatest thing about
Like-
the greatest thing about initiative is to kill an enemy before they get their turn, and that is effectively a big heal or saving an ally. You know,
Like the thing
stuff
about
like that.
initiative is that initiative is a universal mechanic.
Yeah, I like that point. You will get use out of this.
You will use this. It's just a little boring.
Yeah, I mean, it does scale.
It does.
Like imagine if your
I like how
only
it's written,
imagine
though.
if your only ability from 3rd to 15th level, the only new ability that you got from your subclass was like Bard the Bard Jack of all trades application for everyone.
I think as the Paladin will be pretty happy with this though, and I think because especially if they're more of like a support button mindset, like, oh, I'm making my party happy. My party isn't enjoying this bad.
Yeah, I think the problem for me is that I like active support, and there's like very few active support options in the game even.
And once combat started, this is nothing.
Yeah, like you basically are just a paladin. Because like the thing is that you have the Watcher's Will, which is probably the channel divinity that you're using. So like you'll invest if you think you'll need it, you'll invest your first turn into giving your party advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws. And then after that, you're just a paladin.
Yeah, I don't even think it's worth the action in most cases.
I think in like
might-
like in most combats, I don't think you're going to need to use it.
That actually might be a reactive. Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
They just made us make a save. Maybe I should do this. But then that eats your action for sure mid combat, which
Oh, it's painful.
so that's very, very painful.
And then look at the
Aura of the
15th level
Sentinel,
one.
I actually think is one of the better auras that we've seen, is my hot
I
take.
agree.
I mean,
Because they've
agree
just
with
been
you.
dog shit. So I actually think this is decent.
Okay, well,
I agree with you. I
compared
think
to
the aura is good. It's just boring.
Yeah.
I think it is above average.
It's definitely good. Okay, at 15th level, You learn how to chastise anyone who dares wield beguilements against you and your wards. Whenever you or a creature you can see within 30 feet of you succeeds on an intelligence, wisdom, or charisma saving throw, you can use your reaction to deal 2d8 plus your charisma modifier force damage to the creature that forced the saving throw. No.
Sucks so much.
This has so many limitations, and it's not a lot of damage.
Like every few combats, you might be able to do this. And you can only do it once per turn at most anyway. And at 15th level, how much damage is that with a 5 charisma modifier? That's 14 damage.
Oh,
that's right. All
and
these
it doesn't actually help your team. It's just damage to them.
Whatever. Exactly.
Okay. All right. I will say this though: the 20th level fucking rules.
All right, let's read it.
As a bonus action, you gain the following benefits for 1 minute, and you can use the 5th level spell slot thing to.
Oh, what about you manifest a spark of divine power in defense of the mortal realms? That's so cool.
You gain true sight with a range of 120 feet. That's, I guess, pretty useful if you're fighting extra planar creatures. Advantage on attack rolls against aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, and fiends. And when you hit a creature with an attack roll and deal damage to it, you can force it to make a charisma saving throw against your spell save DC. On a failed save, the creature is magically banished to its native plane of existence if it's currently not there. On a successful save, the creature can't be banished by this feature for 24 hours.
Wow.
But, oh my god, that fucking rules.
I would play this character as a dual wielder and just go around like, you get a banish. You get a banish.
Isn't that so funny? In fact, dual wield hammers and just call yourself the ban hammer.
Yes. God. You have to wait till 20th level to do anything.
I am the Lord of all mortality, protector of the mortal realm, Judge Judy.
Mortal Bulwark on a bonus action.
On a bonus action, also. Fucking rules.
And you can use it again using a 5th level spell slot.
How often do you really want to banish things? So here's the thing: if you are in a campaign where you are fighting things, which these are definitely this and Horizon Walker, the Ranger subclass, are definitely made to be played in games where you're fighting a lot of extra planar creatures. Banishing an extra planar creature is really, really good because it just removes them from combat.
It is a one-hit KO. If that thing had 200 health, you just hit him for 200 damage.
Now, the odds that the thing you're banishing fails the save, doesn't have legendary resistance, and is also a threat is, I think, a little bit low. But I think you would.
Yeah, but I think you're not. You're not using this to OHKO like boss monsters. I think because in those cases, I think you actually want to kill them. I think you're using this to just sweep through and like destroy any mob creature that exists.
Like imagine like one of those situations in my campaign. Now, obviously, they're on their native plane, so it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But like, imagine just running around and just bopping a chain devil, bopping another chain devil, bopping a bone devil.
Imagine if in your campaign we went to the material plane to fight in the purge.
Do you know what this does mean though? If you were playing this in our campaign, you could actually use this ability to punch mortals and send them back to the material plane.
Oh my god!
Revive hammer.
That's amazing.
Just force palm.
I like how you're swinging and you accidentally miss and like hit yourself in the leg.
Whoops! Wee!
I guess I'm alive now.
No, I think you would. I think you would succeed against your own charisma save.
Yeah, you would. You'd accidentally hit your ally and then they're just gone.
Whoops! No, Jeff.
So get them back.
So this doesn't work like the normal banish spell in that if they're currently on their plane of existence, it does nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
This is explicitly for fighting creatures that are in the wrong place.
Yeah. So if you're not,
this whole subclass is about that.
Yeah. So it's a fairly niche subclass to begin with.
Yeah.
Let's be generous for a moment. If you're fighting the stuff that's needed, is this good?
Yes, at 20th level, this is definitely a feature worth. Oh, you're talking about
the whole class before 20th level.
No, not really.
Well, before 20th level, you don't have any real ability to do anything to extraplanar creatures that you can't do to a normal creature.
Yeah, the
other than abjure them.
and it's not that significant because it's the fear that breaks on damage. It's really not that good. The Watcher's Will is kind of lackluster. Your spells are very lackluster. Besides, Moonbeam is okay and Counterspell's good. The rest are either on the Paladin spell list or suck. The 7th level
Or
feature is
both.
good. Initiative is good. The 15th level feature sucks, and the 20th level feature is good. So overall, I think this is a below average class. Like, I don't
I
think
think
this
so
is on the
too.
level of Crown and Redemption.
I'm looking at that D tier personally. I think
I
think it's C tier.
I could go with C.
interesting.
I was actually it's
All right, let's.
interesting. Let me now. I was initially thinking C, but I think Sean might have a point with D.
My point was that even I guess it doesn't matter so much, but I don't want to wait, and we don't wait the 20th level that much, but the 20th level does become a little lackluster if you're not fighting the things
I mean,
that are
yeah,
listed
yeah.
there.
I think we have to
It is-
Let's
assume this isn't a
pretend it
camp.
doesn't exist right now. Yeah.
Like I would say, if we were going to consider it in its like native environment, like this is pretty effective against extraplanar creatures. And I would go as far as to say that fighting extraplanar creatures is not that abnormal for a normal game of D&D.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
not, but that's
I think you have to weigh this subclass in a campaign where the majority of enemies are abjuration, celestials, elementals, yada yada yada. Because you wouldn't play this
I think it
outside
would
of
it would
that.
be a hard sell to play this outside that. You wouldn't really have
Okay.
anything going for you, right?
So then you can fear them as an action, and you can add alternatively you can as an action give your party advantage on certain saving
Yeah.
throws.
Okay.
Uh,
So actually, from level 1
Well-
through 19, you're pretty much just as effective against extraplanar creatures as everyone else.
Well, I would also say this: Watcher's Will, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws, like they're on the less common side of things. But if you're fighting a lot of extraplanar creatures, they're actually really common saving throw types.
Yeah, but a lot of that shit is fear, and every paladin at 10th level is immune to fear, and everyone's
I
around.
mean, that is
immune to
very
fear.
true.
Like,
I do like the initiative.
Initiative is pretty good.
yeah, I'm actually. I think D tier. I don't think I can put this above Oathbreaker.
That's true.
Oathbreaker, I value the just the extra damage and also like the 15th level, like resistance and stuff. Oathbreaker's got some shit going for it.
Yeah,
But
no,
I
can see
definitely
that.
think this is better than Devotion.
Definitely better than Devotion.
What
100%.
did heroism have?
Heroism had the 7th level feature, which is quite solid.
This one also has a solid
kills.
heroism. Or
Oh, but this
seven.
isn't nearly as good as the
No,
heroism
it's not as good
7th
as
level feature.
Heroism. Not at all.
The heroism feature, like when you down people, you get a whole bunch of temp HP for your party.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's D. You're right.
Okay.
I think D
convinced.
as well.
All right, I think that's it. That's all the Paladin subclasses.
It got a little lumpy there at the end, but you know.
We did it. We felt,
If it had been in C tier, it would have looked so much prettier. But it
I
wasn't.
know. I regret
Yeah.
saying anything.
No. You gotta be. We have to be accurate.
It would have been beautiful. It's an F. Not quite.
Unlucky.
All right.
There
I
are
think I'm happy with
5
this.
below average Paladins and 7 above average Paladins.
Yeah, pretty good.
That's not bad. Yeah.
Our average
bad.
ended up being more like a B,
Yeah.
because there are 5 paladins below B and 5 paladins above B.
I think this one has like the weakest S and A tier.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Um,
I mean,
OpenSea is pretty
OpenSea
good.
and Treachery are really good.
That's true.
I think this has the weakest A's.
Okay. I'll accept
I
that.
I think the
agree.
jump from A to S here is actually pretty
It's pretty
substantial.
massive.
Yeah.
I think it's probably just because a lot of the other classes had like giga busted S tier classes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
playing an F tier paladin, playing the one F tier paladin, still eminently playable solely because
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
paladin.
Yeah.
Right, Dan?
Oh yeah, it's fucking
For
fine.
sure.
I played Ancient and I played Devotion. The difference is not very much.
Really isn't.
What the fuck did you play, Tyler? You played you played
Vengeance
the
and-
Vengeance and then a homebrew.
And then
I've also played a Vengeance.
I've played a Vengeance.
I don't think I've ever played a Vengeance, but I watched somebody play a Vengeance. So I've played Treachery, Conquest, and Ancient. Yep. So I played all the good ones.
Yeah, I think I've actually played Vengeance and Ancient multiple times each.
Oh my god.
I mean, that
I
multiple.
mean, they're some of my favorites.
Yeah,
I'm
multiple
sure, I'm
vengeance is
sure.
very valid.
I mean, you got to play this Open Sea one now, right?
And yeah, I think maybe. The thing is, you feel bad. It would have to be a low-level campaign because, I don't know, it's just like, you have nothing to look forward to.
Yeah.
I would,
Paladins in general, that's what I
multi-class.
feel like. I feel like you have nothing to look forward to with Paladins.
I would multi-class with Open Sea, and then go Cleric and get more Channel Divinities.
In fact, the only Paladin where I would look forward to like Paladin like subclasses is Treachery. I'd be like, ooh, a new Treachery feature.
Treachery's features are all wonderful.
They're all super good. Yeah. Winston Watchers, but
we
the
did it.
campaign did not last long.
You-
Yeah.
We did.
I think in general the extra planar ones are not like super good. Like I think Watchers is not good, and I'm pretty sure Horizon Walker Rangers aren't good. Speaking of, I think we're doing Rangers next week.
Oh boy.
All right,
God damn it.
time to brush up. You have to let me borrow
Pain.
Tasha's. I want to see if they fixed Rangers finally.
So for the Rangers, do you remove S tier and add
No.
E
No?
tier?
No, because there's one S tier ranger.
There's
Yeah.
a Gloomstalker.
There's exactly one S tier ranger.
Oh.
Literally, if
do
you had
still
no
add an E tier?
no.
The thing is, Tyler, we're not ranking it among other classes. We're ranking
Yeah, that's
Ranger against
true.
Ranger.
Ranger subclasses are all just
You
gonna
don't have to Yazoo it. You don't have to
Piddly-
Yazoo it.
piddly middly, like a whole bunch of B, C's, and D's is my prediction. And like one S tier, unless, so here's the one thing. I haven't read like the Unearthed Arcanas, and I definitely haven't seen Matthew
think-
Mercer stuff. But since everyone knows that Rangers are underpowered, I feel like everyone and their mother is going to be going out of their way to try to break them.
Yeah.
See, yeah, so that's the thing is that my thought is that just because base Ranger is bad doesn't mean that the subclasses are bad.
Well, the base Ranger subclasses are bad.
Well, the base Ranger subclasses are awful. Although I heard some of them got some buffs, so I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll take a look. We'll take a look at what the
you should-
Wikidot has to say.
You should make sure that we are pulling up the correct sheets on Wikidot. You know, make sure it's
Oh yeah, yeah.
Good
I
ones, yeah.
usually double check them just to make sure.
okay.
But I'm pretty sure that the Wikidot base sheets are up to
Yeah.
date on the newest rulings.
And I hope we don't get any those old revised ones and have to double pay. Luckily, Glory and
Yeah.
Heroism were different enough that it was totally good. We ranked.
Yeah,
both.
they were
Yeah.
distinctly different enough. Yeah.
Mm.
I feel
Yeah,
like
all two different.
part of I think the okay yeah, I have nothing else to say actually. I'm good.
Yeah, I think I have nothing else to say.
Solid.
All right, I guess
We
we'll
did it.
just
in 3
close
hours.
out there.
We did it.
God, we made like record time.
Yeah, that's 15 minutes per.
Damn, we're good.
So good. Paladin's easy clap.
Rangers will
Easy.
take
Well, we were all.
eternity.
we were
Oh
all
God, it's because
Paladin
we don't know what
experts
Rangers
here.
are. When was the last time anyone
but-
ever played a Ranger?
It's one of the only classes I've never played.
You know what? I'm
I
gonna
don't
play a
know if
Ranger next
I've
time I play a
played.
game.
You said that last time.
Did
We
I?
did say that last time.
Or last tier list?
No, last campaign.
Last campaign.
And then you played
really?
Cleric.
Oh, I forgot about that.
You had a good reason to play a cleric.
Yes, I needed you.
Oh, that's right. That's why.
Uh-huh.
Rangers are sad because you love the idea of Rangers. They added optional rules. I hear the optional rules actually kind of shore them up a little bit.
Just
Yeah,
play a ranged fighter.
Before next week, we should go over the Tasha's optional rules. Just keep them in mind and
Just keep them in mind. Yeah, I mean,
Because it might affect how good subclasses are relative to others.
that's true. We do actually have to brush up on Rangers. I don't remember the last time I even read Rangers. So yeah. I think Rangers have some more tricks up their sleeve than people give them credit for, but I think in general, like, you're probably just better off playing a fighter if you just want to play a guy with a bow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just play a fighter with like an Outlander background or something. But hey, who knows? I heard that that the buffs might be pretty decent. And I think one of the Rangers is one in they added one in the same one as the Dragon Monk. I think there was a Dragon Taming Ranger or something, and that sounds really cool.
What?
Ooh.
So anyway, we'll see you next week? Question mark? Does that work for everybody?
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
Okay, next week, next time ish.
Unless you hear otherwise somewhere else, yeah.
Next week,
Yeah,
next
I'll
time.
tweet about it somewhere, I guess. Anyway, bye.
Yeah, thanks for
Bye.
coming.